advocates could reduce or even eliminate your debt. End your tax nightmare today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. Again, 800-575-1482.
Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. This research leads to new treatments for patients right now. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. 710 ESPN.
Here we go, Travis Rogers, DeMarco Farr.
The far side. You ready for the far side? I'm in the far side. You're in the far side.
Go. Welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. So let's get to the fun, shall we? The Travis and DeMarco Show right now.
Yeah! AK is back in the house. DeMarco's still a little under the weather. We'll keep you posted. Hopefully he's back before too long. Good to see you again, AK.
Yes,
it's been a whole day since we've seen each other.
I know. You had Mike Trudell as the
first
AK,
ever
as the AK buffer, I guess, or
he was the meat in the AK. I guess he would be a Trudell sandwich. You would be the bread, but
yeah, he was the bridge between AKs.
The bridge, indeed. Well, welcome back. It's good to have you back. How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
My daughter had her middle school graduation ceremony yesterday.
Oh, like cap and gown and the whole thing?
It's not a cap and gown. What it really is, excuse for all of the 8th grade girls to spend a day getting their hair blown out. It was like a prom style dress for the girls, except fancier.
Oh, fancier than a prom.
Yeah. I'll show you some pictures. Like, some of my daughter's friends, like, they were decked out.
What about the boys? We talking board shorts and T-shirts?
Not quite board shorts and T-shirts, but only because they weren't really allowed that.
Okay.
But you could tell all the boys were, I am dressing up to the bare minimum of what I'm either allowed by the school or my parents are making me. It was clearly a much bigger deal to the girls than the boys, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Two of my daughter's good friends, they read this sort of halfway between an essay and a poem.
Okay.
Summarizing 8th grade. It was really well done. It was
an original composition?
Yeah, it was very clever. It was funny. Another girl that I don't know who this girl is, but she gave this speech like a
valedictorian kind of thing,
kind of like a valedictorian, but move ahead through the uncertainty and all. And I'm sitting there watching these girls, and another one of her friends sang with someone else, and I'm like, these kids are so much more sophisticated. 14.
My God.
All I was thinking about is which of my parents have not stolen beer from yet or liquor from yet, or
you're far more advanced than me.
There's got to be a place that I haven't discovered yet that'll sell me cigarettes. That's okay. All I was thinking about in 8th grade.
Andy, you were much further down the road at 14 than I was, because here are the two things you need to know about Travis at 14. Terrified of girls, and where can I buy baseball cards? That was kind of my entire thing. I didn't care about clothes. I didn't care about any. I was interested in girls, but I didn't quite know how to talk to them yet. I hadn't quite figured that entire portion of it all out.
Cigarettes and alcohol helped.
I would imagine that it did, but I was a pretty good kid. I didn't do any of that stuff until much later in my high school career, but 8th grade was not a nerd, but I had no game. I wanted baseball cards and to be left alone and hang out with my friends and play wiffle ball.
Listening to them talk, I was like, oh my God,
that's wild.
I went from being. I still have concerns about this generation. They're online too much. They're exposed to too many different people.
It's all going to be over soon. You don't have to worry about it.
That's true. That's why I don't worry about being able to afford to send my daughter to college.
What college?
The world ain't going to be around long enough.
Where's that going to happen?
But seriously, whatever they're exposed to, it has heightened their vocabulary and thought process. Because I was like, damn.
You got to get it in. Yeah. It's the clock is ticking. Roars to you, Em. 14-year-old Emily Hebel was what?
Definitely a nerd. I thought I was going to be a star because I was an actor. Because I was, I had featured roles in the musicals in middle school. I was like, high school is going to be ready for me. I was making the all-county chorus, all-county band. I thought I had it made. And, I succeeded in high school, but I was definitely nerdy and, yeah.
Know where to steal beer and buy cigarettes for you at 14?
I had no interest. I was too busy doing 18 different extracurricular activities.
Let me ask you this, Andy. Were you one of those guys that were not worried about getting in trouble, or did you think you were not going to get it? Because I knew I would get caught. My interest was more towards Emily's. Like, at that point, I didn't have interest in that, but some of my friends did. And it was like, nah, I don't want to. And if I got caught, I think I'd get killed.
It was a combination of both. I think I thought I could get away with it, and also was not nearly worried enough about the consequences.
You thought that even if they catch me, I'll be all right.
I thought that I could talk my way out of, game my way out. And
I believe you.
I put it to the test.
Yeah.
I put it to the test a few times.
Did you succeed? Were you able to talk your way through some of this stuff?
I remember my freshman year of high school, one of my good friends, his older cousin went to Washington University in St. Louis.
Okay.
And I remember it was during, I guess, winter break. A bunch of us went to hang out at his cousin's dorm, and then we went.
And you're 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of us were 15. I was personally 14, and we went to. Somehow we all managed to get into one of the campus bars. I have no idea.
14.
Yeah, I have no. None of us at this point had fake IDs. I don't know if he talked us in or what. I don't remember how this happened, but we're all in there. And then one of my friends got into a fight with a bouncer who, this friend of mine who was an idiot, he ended up for unrelated reasons getting expelled the next day from school. Totally unrelated
So that's
reasons.
A weekend for that kid.
It really was.
Yeah.
He had quite a busy 48 hours.
I guess he did.
But this friend of mine was really drunk and was doing something that he shouldn't. And the bouncer was pretty nice about telling him hey, stop doing that. My friend turns around, swung at the bouncer, and then I had no idea he had this on him, pulled out a stiletto knife.
Oh, my goodness.
From his pocket.
Were you in The Outsiders?
Yeah, my friend Dally.
I was going to say, we'll do it for Andy, man. We'll do it for Andy.
So this friend of mine, and I was in the room while this happened, but slowly backing away, trying to make it clear I'm not with him. This bouncer, it turns out, knows martial arts, does this spinning kick, knocks the knife out of his hand, does this another spinning kick, drops my friend, and then all of a sudden, the WashU police are in this bar, and they have him handcuffed, and I'm sitting there, I'm hammered, and I'm watching him that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It sounds like a scene out of Roadhouse.
It was. So then eventually, they start figuring out, hey, this group of rather young-looking college students might just be with this other rather young college student. So we all end up getting kicked out of this bar. And as we're basically waiting around for taxis in a friend of mine's dorm, the WashU police had, and I think actually some actual police, had been looking for us. And we're sitting in this dorm, and they start asking us, do you guys have ID? Do you have, and all of us are no. And they're oh, well, you're coming with us to I think it was U-City Police Department. And I am really drunk at this point. And this is where I think I can talk my way out of something. I go up to this cop. I'm officer, these handcuffs are really necessary. What are we really doing here? And he looks at me and goes, son, you can do this the hard way, click, or you can do this my way. And all I'm thinking at this point, because he did that.
He did the thing from TV.
Damn, Starsky, that hurts, man. Relax. Where do you think I'm going to go? Calm down. So he handcuffs me to a friend of mine. And then at that point, all I'm thinking about is my friend looks like he's about to throw up.
From fear or alcohol? Or both. Okay.
And then eventually my friend's older cousin somehow talked our way out of this thing. Managed to keep us all from getting arrested.
No wonder you thought you could talk your way out of things, because you did.
I was a golden god.
And while you said that you were impressed by your daughter and her friends and their maturity.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been doing this.
I guarantee you that story would impress them. So while you might be impressed by them, that story would be impressive.
I can only speak for my daughter. I think she would be horrified and repelled by, not just because it was me. She finds that behavior totally off-putting.
Well, sure. Knife fights at 14 are typically
something
that sticks with you for a little while. That is That's another page in the AK book that I'm putting in there. I like this a lot. What about you at 14, Jorge? Were you a good kid, bad kid, knife fight kid?
No knife fights. At least I didn't have any knife fights. But a lot of rollerblading, a lot of bike riding, a lot of soccer for sure. Because I was about to start high school at 14.
Sure.
I wanted to try out for the team and just kind of start getting into books so I can make grades just enough so I can play. But that's pretty normal, I guess.
No university police being arrested and
no dorm
kicking
fights,
knives out of your friends' hands.
It was an amazingly cool sequence. It was awesome.
So you and I are roughly the same age. So this was, you're 14. This was like 1982 or 3, something like that? 4 or 5?
It's about 86.
Okay.
I think about 86. And I remember, too,
he's a lot younger than you, Travis.
No, he's not.
It was because I remember, too, when my friend was getting arrested after the bouncer kicked the knife out of the hand and roundhouse kicked him. He looked over, and I think he saw me and a friend. He's like, guys, I'm like,
no, who are you? No.
Thank God someone handled that young ruffian.
The idea of going into a place like that at that age would have given me heart palpitations. I just was simply not ready for that. You were far more advanced.
Again, the alcohol helped.
It does. It does for sure. Do you want to play at ESPN LA's second annual listener game? Visit ESPNLA.com right now for your chance to secure a roster spot. You can play on my team, Team Travis. You can play on DFAR's team, Team DeMarco. Visit ESPNLA.com today. Thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Not quite a knife fight last night on the field between the Dodgers and the Padres, but it was fun.
It was fun.
They've done a thing the last couple of times they've played down in San Diego about a week or so ago and continuing this week at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers and the Padres have found a way to make regular season, it's not quite the dog days of summer, early part of summer baseball, really exciting and very, very fun. And I'm here for it. And I don't know what's going to happen tonight, except for I kind of have an idea of what's going to happen tonight. We'll get into that coming up next. Ohtani had a bad one last night, and I wonder if there isn't a little bit of a pitching hangover, even for the greatest player that we've seen in quite some time. It's all coming up. It's Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
For ESPN LA contest rules, go to ESPNLA.com and click the contest button.
Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, skip agents, commissions, and costly repairs. Get a fair, competitive cash offer without worrying about the details falling through. Chris Chavez, a real customer, says, quote, Seller's Advantage offered me more than I expected. The process was fast, easy, and much better than using a realtor. End quote. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurants protein bowls are here for a limited time. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love. Just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. If you're ready to upgrade your driving experience, you gotta go and check out what's happening at Cadillac and their incredible new lineup of state-of-the-art EVs, sedans, and SUVs. And hey, look, there's no better place to experience the luxury of Cadillac than at Cadillac of Beverly Hills. Check out Cadillac of Beverly Hills and their beautiful showroom at 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And check them out on the web at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
Hey, it's Travis. Every legend has a story, and those stories are kept at Legends Attic in Claremont. Legends Attic is the premier sports memorabilia gallery and store that offers a unique blend of rare and iconic collectibles. It's a community for sports fans and collectors, so go check it out for yourself. Legends Attic, 619 West Foothill Boulevard in the city of Claremont. Visit legendsattic.com and be sure to follow Legends Attic on all social media platforms so you can stay connected to know about their upcoming signings and special events with Hall of Famers and pro players.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Pacific Palms Resort, LA's Hilltop Hideaway and #1 work and play resort, provides opportunities for all travelers and locals. Enjoy restful accommodation, dine in the Red Restaurant with an expansive outside patio, or pamper yourself and relax at the spa. Hit the links at one of their 2 championship courses, the Babe and the Ike. Pacific Palms Resort is the perfect choice for a Los Angeles venue for your business meetings, weddings, and big events. Enjoy a beautiful staycation or family holiday at their Hilltop property. Book your stay at LA's #1 work and play resort today at PacificPalmsResort.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Feeling like you've lost a step? You're not alone. After 35, most men start losing free testosterone, the hormone that helps you stay lean, strong, and energized. But now there's a game-changing solution. Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster from the #1 brand in America. Nugenix Total T2 is packed with even more men-boosting power, and it works fast. With a powerful nitric oxide booster, it sends your energy and performance levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. That's right, just 3 hours to start feeling like your old self again. For a limited time, you could try it for yourself absolutely free. Text now to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC. But that's not all. When you send us a text, we'll also include a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever. Feel stronger, leaner, more driven. Text ROCK to 369-369 now. That's ROCK to 369-369. Text ROCK to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Radio's Clinton Yates here as well. We were talking, I don't know, when you walked into the other side of the studio.
I heard a little.
We were talking about
I didn't hear a lot.
Our 14-year-old selves because Andy's daughter graduated from middle school.
Sure.
She's on her way to high school, and he was impressed by how mature she is and how accomplished her and her friends are. And we kind of went around the room, and Emily was a theater kid who thought she was on her way to become a star. I was a dork that liked wiffle ball and baseball cards and was terrified of girls. Jorge wanted to make the soccer team. Andy was apparently in some rogue
total thug
gang where they're drawing knives on each other.
Clear, I was not a thug. I was not
thug adjacent. You were in the group that was pulling knives on bouncers at 14.
It wasn't even a group doing that. It was one guy. The rest of us, none of us were caring.
Would this individual have said, Andy Kamenetsky is my buddy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you're at least within the Venn diagram.
But I mean, I can promise you, he was the only one with a weapon that night.
What about a young Clinton Yates?
A lot of baseball. That's when that really got serious for me. A lot of graffiti. That's when I really got serious about art. And that's also when I certainly wasn't afraid of girls. That's also when I had a good friend who lived up the street from me whose older brothers were well into high school. So that's when sort of what we'll just call the training began on how to party. You know what I mean? Learning how to hold it so that you're not doing things like, I don't know, relieving yourself on pinball machines or learning how to take the elevator to the top floor without screwing it up for everybody. So,
I like taking it to the top floor. I like that expression. But DeMarco's phrase of throwing it over the fence is still my favorite. I by the way, I brought that to I said that to Kelly, my daughter, and she and I were out. We were having lunch or whatever, and she had gone out the night before with her friends, and she was not feeling her best. And I said, "Did you throw it too far over the fence?" And she looks at me and goes, "What did you say?" and I told her, she goes, "That's awesome." So I'm stealing DeMarco's material.
Now, the reason I came in here, though, is because everybody knows that I have one of the most classic, unforgettable performances in ESPN 710 history. 8 errors in 4 innings. Tremendous work out of me.
Big E6.
Bringing a brand new glove to a ballpark was stupid, but everybody also knows that preparation is key for me. And I'm walking through the hallways here, and I see a bat, and I'm looking at it. It's a standard TPX. It looks like the old bats from probably a little after your day, probably around my, when I was really playing. Dude, I grabbed this bat to pick it up. What kind of an abomination is going on with this grip tape? Look at this.
That's electrical tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Let me see that.
This is unacceptable on every level. I will be returning tomorrow with my various athletic tapes to create a real tape job on that.
Where did you find this bat?
It was just lying in the bullpen.
Oh.
It was back there with another Easton, and I was like, who put electrical tape as a grip on a bat? That is an obscene violation.
This bat has been well used, by the way.
That bat looks like it's been, doing work in Andy's old 14-year-old crew. But, electrical tape? I've never seen anybody do that. A tennis grip? Okay. That's bad enough. That's a problem. I will be changing that personally.
That'll get slippery
tomorrow.
in that heat.
Yeah. And hello, it's a conductor. But no, I'm joking. But, that will be changed tomorrow because that is an abomination.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
That's not good. Who did this? This is a mystery. I need to figure out who's worked that
Schneider.
Okay, but here's
why would you ever do that?
It's bad. I'm not defending it in any, but it's also just close to the right length and right thickness that somebody knows what they're doing a little bit.
Yes,
they know what they're doing. Like if it went another inch and a half up the barrel, then it's somebody that had never seen a baseball.
What
bat
you're saying
before.
is somebody tried to pull a fast one here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Jorge, was it you?
No, he
No
would,
way,
he
man.
would never
Come on.
do
No?
that.
Okay.
He would never.
No, I know how to.
You were stunningly silent about this.
Are you unavailable for this game?
I'm unavailable because I'll be covering the actual MLB All-Star game in ATL. So
Right.
there's that. But sidebar.
The return of Freddie Freeman, by the way.
Return of Freddie Freeman, which is going to be a big deal. And I just wanted to tell you, you might get it. You'll be entertained by this. There is a bar across the road from Truist Field. Now, Truist is in this separate deal called the Battery.
It's in the suburbs, right?
It's in Smyrna is where it is. And it is brand new-ish where it's there's, I don't know, there's apartments, there's, there's all these different
I've never been, but I've heard it's kind of cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
But it is sort of separate from the rest of everything. If you get out across the street to the sort of Galleria mini mall, there's a place called Doc's. Doc's has ceilings.
As in medical doctor, or as where you park your boat?
As in the guy, no, as in your buddy Doc
who
lives down the street.
Okay.
Possessive of a guy named Doc. Low ceilings, wood panel walls. They got a pull heater machine in the front, and you can burn heaters in there while you eat. At the bar, no qualms.
This is like Nirvana for the two of you.
This is what I'm saying. This is an AKCY special.
I mean, Nirvana back in the day. I have thankfully quit, and it's been a long time.
Maybe it's time to start again. Find your buddy with a knife, and you guys could go hang out.
I will say, the opportunity to smoke at this point is not appealing to me at all. I really don't miss it, other than sometimes the ritual. But I don't miss the nicotine. Sure. But the idea of the pull,
the sound,
of the pull, the way it tumbles out,
it's unbelievable. And I walked in there, I think it was a couple years ago, because we were there when they were last in the World Series, and I was like, this can't be a real place. This is, I feel like I'm in
heaven?
1993.
No, it's Atlanta suburbs with a cigarette machine.
So
you're talking about the one that you pull the lever and the thing would come up.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
those are cool. So that is
so
I'm as looking much forward to that as I am anything baseball related.
Those were great too, because that was how, when you were underage and I don't even remember what the laws were for smoking back then, but there was a period where I just clearly looked too young to smoke because I was too young to smoke. So some places wouldn't sell to you. The pull machine, that was your savior, because that machine has no idea who is buying the cigarettes. They just see the coins come down.
And they were in odd places. I remember seeing them
bowling alleys
in the waiting area of a Marie Callender's. they would be in such bizarre places. There makes sense that there would be a cigarette machine at a pool hall or a bar or a bowling alley. It makes perfect sense, but. Hey, we're going to go to Coco's to have dinner with mom and dad. And, by the way, you can buy a soft pack of Winston's while you're sitting there. It's crazy.
I think they made a lot of sense at a Coco's. A Coco's, to me, at least growing up for me, a Coco's always felt like a place where you could feel safe lighting up.
I couldn't believe it, though. You can order food and eat it and smoke at the same time at the bar inside. Unreal.
It's amazing.
I don't smoke anymore, but I think if I was there with you, Clinton, I would have.
It was totally disgusting. Don't get me wrong. I couldn't believe the fact that it was actually happening, and I went back there 3 times.
I have a good buddy of mine is a former smoker, like you, Andy, has not smoked in probably 25 years. He quit in his 20s, I think, is when
I quit in my 30s.
But yeah. So, but he to this day, I could start again right now. Like it's something that he still very much would like to continue to do. He just does not.
Yeah, but no, I will be there.
I'll tell him about Docs.
Yeah, tell him about Docs. I'll be there for All-Star.
Clint needs a friend.
All-Star weekend, and I'm pretty excited though because Freddie Freeman's return to Atlanta is a real deal story. It'll be interesting to see how that. How that develops and what that's like for Federico, who spent a lot of time there. Obviously.
All right, so I'm glad you're here for this. Yeah. So last night, the Dodgers and Padres, I'm not saying it's the greatest rivalry in baseball history. I'm not even sure that by the literal definition of the word that they have a rivalry, but I think that it would be impossible to argue that at least right now in 2025, and at least over the last 2 or 3, maybe even 4 or 5 seasons, the most charged matchup in Major League Baseball is LA San Diego. They go back and forth. They beat each other in key moments. They've competed for division titles. They've faced each other in the postseason, and there seems to be some animosity between the two groups. Manny Machado has a lot to do with that. Last night, we kind of went to the next level. So let's go back to Monday night, and so much of Shohei's performance is what we focused on. Fact of the matter is, Andy Pages gets hit. And it was clearly unintentional. They did not hit him on purpose. And I think that Pages, because at this point, Dylan Cease was dealing.
Yeah, he had it all going.
He's not looking to put anybody on base, so they hit him, and Pages takes offense to it and says something. And the Padres' response was, dude, who do you think you are? Like Mike Schilt, the manager of the Padres, literally said that. Like, yelled at him, who do you think you are? Like, we're not hitting you, dude. And then Machado, after the game, says, they got a lot of stars over there. Why would we hit him? Well, Pages last night answered that by getting 4 knocks, including a couple of home runs. But Fernando Tatis gets hit with the pitch. And to me, that felt purposeful. Like, you don't get even though you didn't hit my guy on purpose, you chirped my guy, we're going to square the account. They didn't like that. So they hit, which, by the way, takes some, some stones. They hit Ohtani because this could start World War III.
Yes.
Okay. If you hit Max Muncy, all due respect to my MVP choice at the beginning of the year, you hit Max Muncy, it might start a fight, but it's not going to start World War III.
No.
If they hit Ohtani, and even Dave Roberts said as much after the game, they hit him in the air quote right way. They hit him below the waist. They hit him in the meat of the leg.
Below the waist, above the knee.
Yeah. Yes. If you're going to hit somebody correctly, that's how you do it. They get warnings. Dave Roberts doesn't like the warning. He gets thrown out and everything. But it feels like we are building to, and they go again tonight. It's the third of a 4-game series. We are getting to the point where, I'm here for it. It's awesome. It's exciting. It's a little bit old school. It's a little bit of bringing excitement to baseball in the middle of June, which is pretty rare. The only little, hey, hold on here real quick, is going beyond that invisible line of Mookie Betts has a broken wrist, or Fernando Tatis, has his knee, or something that now now I have to do it to you.
Right.
And now both of these teams are kind of screwed.
I would up the ante with you, Travis, and I would say that you're going to find a hard time naming me a better rivalry in pro sports right now.
It's great.
Never mind baseball than what's going on with the Pods and the Dodgers. For what you said, because there are baseball reasons and there are non-baseball reasons. Let us not forget that the season ended last year with a triple play that they turned.
That's
on the
right.
Dodgers. That was insane.
That's right.
That was completely nuts. Then there was that situation that happened with the ball overthrow, rolling into the dugout or whatever that was.
And again, the Dodgers turned a non-thing into a thing because they have feelings about this.
Exactly.
That was nothing. And if it were anybody other than Manny Machado, it wouldn't have registered at all. But
Absolutely.
It was Manny Machado.
No, I'm a big fan of this. And, this is the kind of stuff, too, that it's a gift that keeps giving because, these will come up in September when people are remembering, why is this so contentious now? Oh, you remember that little little spat we had in June? It's like, it happened over the summer. We're still fighting about it when we get back to school. That's definitely going down.
There's a good comment right now in the Travis and DeMarco YouTube page comment section from Ruben Flores. It's a rivalry. Players make rivalries.
Yeah.
And there's some truth to that. Like, obviously, there are old standing traditional rivalries. But if there's not much juice happening in any given moment with those rivalries, then it's more about history and like historical context and what's actually happening. Like I remember Kobe talked about, Kobe grew up a Laker fan, even overseas. His grandfather used to send him VHS tapes of like Magic and Showtime. And Kobe was basically like a basketball historian. Mm-hmm. He knew all about this stuff. But he admitted it took a while for the Celtics-Lakers thing to really organically mean something to him.
Yeah.
Because when he entered the league, the Celtics were in a really down period. There was nothing tangible about it for him to feel. Like the Spurs and the Kings, the Blazers, like those were his rivalry until 2008 when they played in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lakers got waxed in Game 6 by 39. Then 2010, they beat the Celtics. Then it really meant something to Kobe. Like you can't just be told you hate something.
No. You have to actually hate it. And these two teams have we just keep climbing the ladder of things. And it's gonna hit. I don't know if it'll hit its high water mark tonight. I don't know if it'll happen at some point during maybe. And they still play each other a lot. So this will be their 6th matchup tonight. They play each other 13 times. So there's some more games to go. But they're going to have to square the account now, because if they both get to the postseason, it seems likely that they both will. The games are too important. The games are too valuable. Like, that's not when you settle scores. You know where you settle scores? June 18th. June 18th is a really good time to do it, because if I don't do it now, by the time they meet each other down the road, maybe the stakes are too high for one of these teams. And the only downside to this is the downside of somebody important to this series gets legitimately hurt, misses some time, changes the dynamic of this, and now I have to do it. Now it's not a code or any of these things. It's you took out, let's say, it's
we've got to
Mookie
do something
Betts.
drastic.
I need to take out Manny Machado, because that's how we keep scoring baseball.
I will say this, though, Travis, that for you as a Dodgers fan, I'm glad you are embracing this for what it is and not doing that bit of the little brother bit where everything is unimportant
it's great.
until the World Series happens. You know what I'm saying? That I cannot stand.
I want to put.
annoying.
I think what you're saying is also true. But
Okay.
in this moment,
I'm loving it.
This is great.
Yeah.
Look, we haven't even reached the halfway point yet.
No, we're not even at the All-Star break. Right.
The season is long. Very, very few of these games are, I wonder what's going to happen right now. and last night was one of those games. And tonight, and Emmett Sheehan's making his debut. There's a lot of cool stuff. Ohtani's coming off of a 4-strikeout night. We'll get to all of this. Yeah. But it was a... Oh, and then when what's-his-face hit Iglesias last night, and clearly that was not done intentionally, but the other two were.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mr. South is in the building right now. I wonder what he has to say about his Padres.
It's terrific. I love every single second of it.
Electric tape on a bat.
Yeah, get to the bottom of that. It is the 710 Backyard Experience. Tune in today. Mason and Ireland, the guys, they're going to be broadcasting live from a fan's backyard thanks to Ficky Sports. Use the code ESPNLA for a 20% discount on FickySports.com. So don't miss all the fun and surprises during the 710 Backyard Experience, streaming live on the ESPNLA YouTube channel. So with that in mind, Shohei Ohtani, the day after he pitched, that's coming up next. It's Trav. DeMarco's out. Andy's in on 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
This is the Doctor in the Dugout with Dr. Alan Byer, presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
I'm often asked about people who suffer their first back injury, think they've pulled a muscle in their back, and they don't stretch enough as far as their back is concerned. So when do you seek care from a doctor when you've sustained a back injury? At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we like to tell people that the most important thing is to watch and see if that back pain is radiating down your leg, causing any numbness, causing any weakness, or any bowel or bladder dysfunction. These are surgical problems usually and require a more urgent visit to the emergency room rather than waiting to see the doctor. If none of these signs are present, it's safe to wait it out, rest for a few days, and seek medical care from your doctor within a week or so. Hope that helps. Keep stretching your back. If that doesn't get better in a week or 10 days, that's when it's time to seek the orthopedic specialist. Hope this keeps you on the field, and keep listening. We'll be back soon.
Keep listening for more on the road to recovery right here on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
See America your way in a new Subaru from Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, like a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek with just 2.9% financing for 48 months, or a new 2025 Subaru Outback with just 3.9% financing for 72 months. For complete details, visit OceanSubaruOC.com or come into Ocean Subaru on Euclid Street in Fullerton. Wherever the journey takes you, it starts here at Ocean Subaru.
Approved credit through Subaru Motors Finance. Not all buyers or vehicles will qualify. Plus tax, tag, title, and dock fee. Zero security deposit. See dealer for complete details. Expires 6/30/2025. Mark your calendars, SoCal. The High Desert Beer and Wine Festival returns to the Palmdale Amphitheater on Saturday, June 21st from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sample craft brews from regional breweries, sip fine wines, and enjoy tasty food trucks while rocking out to live performances from Eve 6, DJ A1, and some of the best cover bands around. It's the tastiest party of the summer. Tickets available at highdesertbeerandwinefest.com. General admission and VIP options available. That's highdesertbeerandwinefest.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Full 180, crazy, thinking about the way.
Not gonna lie, AK, I'm a little preoccupied with your life at 14 years old. It's really consuming a lot of my non-work hours.
Just so it's clear, I mean, as much as I would love to build the legend, this was the peak. This was not like a typical Tuesday or something like that.
But don't worry, we are going to do a cam side where we dive more into the youth of Andy Kim.
I think I know the tale that I will regale us all with for the cam side.
Does it? You can give me his real name, or you could give him an alias. What are we going to call your friend that was involved in this?
Not involved in this.
Okay, that's disappointing.
Well, I mean, hopefully this story. This story, I'm a little bit older, so I've grown a little more mature.
We're going to call him Dally. We're going to that Dally is not involved in this.
Dally is not involved. No, this is we're moving towards college. This is okay. This is like Saved by the Bell, the college years for me.
Which was disappointing, by the way, as a general show. Kind of left you.
Was it? Which football player was on it?
Mike Golick.
No, was it Bob Golick or Mike?
No, it was Mike Golick.
Mike Golick.
No. Which one was it? Oh, it was Bob Golick was on the show. Mike Golick was Mike and Mike, of course. Is Bob Golick.
Okay.
Yeah, the uncle to Mike Golick Jr.
Yes.
That is correct. It is Bob Golick.
Yeah, he was like the RA or something like that, and counseling Zach.
Now, the show really bookended badly because the early original Saved by the Bell years that nobody remembers.
Yeah.
It was like pre-Kelly Kapowski, pre-Jesse Spano.
So excited.
Yeah, I'm so scared. Like, it was pretty bad. And then you had the peak middle when they introduced Kapowski and Spano, and they souped up the theme song, and they were hanging out the Max.
At the Max, sure.
Yeah, like that was great. Then they went to college, and it was terrible.
It wasn't good.
It was really bad.
Something has to be significantly below the line for me to say that a Tiffany Thiessen project is not good, but this was not good.
Along the lines of Tiffany Thiessen, like, we both love 90210.
Sure.
Like, love it.
Yes.
Once they graduated from college, that show got
No, it was it. It was over.
Like, I do not care if Tori Spelling's boutique
boutique, their stupid newspaper that they launched, the whole thing. Once they were like, not in the eyes of the law, but in the way that they lived their lives. Once they were adults,
don't care.
I could not have cared any less.
Yeah, like the stakes of everything they were doing. Like, I just don't care.
And quite frankly, once we
Dylan
started
and Brandon
to bleed off the main cast members, it was not really happening. The last, air quote, new cast member that was like, yeah, I'm here for this, was Valerie Malone. That was incredible because we already had Claire Arnold, who we've established is the number one female in the 90210 universe. But Val comes in and you're like, oh, yeah, this is good. I'm here. And
especially because she was so cast against type.
Of course.
Because everyone knew her as Kelly Kapowski.
Of course. And now she's Tiffany Thiessen, influencer, cook, author.
Her TV show
Instagram
where
feeder,
she cooks,
huge fanner,
and has people over for dinner outside. She seems like the most delightful host ever.
They need to bring that show back. It's Dinner at Tiffany's, and it was wonderful, but it's not. It's not on anymore, and it bums me out.
It was a very soothing,
and she looks like she knows what's up in the kitchen. Like she can cook, she can make cocktails. She seems like an incredible host.
Yes,
I'm a fan.
It was great.
All right, so Shohei Ohtani made his debut on Monday night on the mound. First time he's pitched in, what was the number? I think it was 663 days. Couple of seasons had gone by. Yep, 663 days. And he pitched okay. You know, I think it was kind of about what you would expect. Not sharp, but healthy. Looked really good. What we didn't really we wanted to make sure that last night, Tuesday night, was he healthy? Does his arm feel good? And the answer appeared to be yes. Okay, good. Check that box too. Health good, arm good. Here we go. He was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts and got hit by the pitch. Okay, hit by the pitch, whatever. Shohei Ohtani strikes out a lot. He is a boomer bust hitter. Strikes out a lot. But 4 Ks on the heels of his pitching debut. Is Shohei Ohtani a human being? And was there a hangover, whether mental, physical, spiritual, or whatever, from taking the mound for the first time?
I had not thought about this until you brought it up before the show began, like any type of connection. And I just wonder if pitching, he's using muscles in a way, like in a taxing form that he has not done for like 2 years. And it's the first time that he has done that type of thing in a game. And then during this game, hits. And then the next day, I wouldn't be shocked at all if there was soreness. Sure. Like if his body felt a bit off. Because even though he has done this and that used to be his full-time gig, it's been a while. He's getting a little bit older. Mm-hmm. Like none of this is to say the Dodgers should shut down the pitcher-hitter era of Ohtani. But this is probably something they're going to have to account for until he gets used to it.
It's interesting to me that your first place your brain went was a physical, like soreness, fatigue. Like we've all done that thing where you go do the thing you haven't done in a long time. And it could be something totally stupid like, oh, I don't know, not that this ever happened to me. Definitely never happened to me. You go bowling with your kids and you can't walk for a couple days. Because
this softball game coming up.
Yeah.
We are all going to be feeling it.
So you just, okay, I'm sore because I did this thing. And maybe there's a component of that. To me, the thing that jumped into mind was a mental fatigue, that he had to do the thing that he hadn't done in a long time between the years. And just the mental fatigue of getting ready to do it, the emotional outlay that goes into the rehab process over a couple of years. You finally get in there. You have the moment where you're competing. The game continues. By the way, he had a good night at the plate 2 nights ago. He had a couple of hits, got on base 3 times. He was really good. And the hangover that comes with all of this emotional outlay, he'll get used to regardless whether it's the physical thing that you might suspect or the mental thing that I might suspect. I think he's going to be okay, but that was a really bad night for him. And he's like I said, he strikes out a lot, but that even by a guy that strikes out a lot, that was a tough night.
I mean, it's certainly possible maybe that he just got thrown off by being hit by the pitch and the other stuff going on, and maybe he's thinking about how much is this going to escalate, and am I going to get plunked again, even though I had absolutely nothing to do with any of this?
Well, his crime was he's the best player on the other team. And so we have to do something to you because you hit our best guy.
Because if I'm Ohtani, I'm like, I didn't say anything. Like, why are you taking this out on me?
I would not want to be Manny Machado today. I would not. I'm just, we'll see what happens next. But if we're doing it, you got one of my, okay, because he's next up. And Jackson Merrill's on the IL, or he might. It's interesting. I can't. Regular season baseball that's actually interesting. Not as interesting as 14-year-old Andy Kamenetsky. We're going to get more on that coming up next. It's Trav, and he's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN. It is official. Rotolo, Dealer of the Year, year after year after year. In fact, 13 years in a row. And it's not easy to do, but it's not complicated. You just take care of people day after day, week after week, year after year. And that's what they do at Rotolo Chevrolet with incredible selection. They've got every Chevy Silverado that you can possibly imagine, every Chevy car and truck. Incredible pricing, of course. They're going to give you a great deal at Rotolo Chevrolet. But it's the customer service that wins them that award every single year, 13 years in a row, because you're going to feel good about your purchase at Rotolo Chevrolet. You're going to feel like you know what's up. And look, we've all gone places where, maybe to buy a car and you're like, hey, I don't even understand exactly what just happened. That doesn't feel good, right? That's never going to happen at Rotolo because Mike Capozio is not going to let it happen. His entire team at Rotolo Chevrolet is going to make sure that you know every step of the sales process. So you're going to tell all your friends and they're going to tell all of theirs. So if you've been thinking about a new Chevy, Rotolo Chevrolet is the place to be. Right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit. You can't miss it. All the Chevy cars and trucks. And if the 909 Fontana is a little bit out of your own backyard, that's okay. You can go online. RotoloChevy.com. ROTOLO. RotoloChevy.com. And whether you go in or go online, make sure they know that I sent you in.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where vapes are anti-aging. Because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke.
To Floor, or visit them online at HernandezWholesaleFlooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Hey, it's John Ireland. Laker fans, meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's clean energy without the crash. No synthetic junk, just a smooth boost to keep you focused and locked in. Whether you're teeing off early, powering through the workday, or just need that extra push, Pro Baller delivers. Grab the limited edition Lakers can, available now at Costco, Amazon, and select convenience stores. Pro Baller Energy. Champions choose clean energy.
Coverage of the 2025 NBA Finals on ESPN LA is brought to you by Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. Play anytime, anywhere for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Head to ChumbaCasino.com and let's Chumba.
Only available in permitted states. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck. And she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes. But when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
You unlock this door with a key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the land of shadow and substance, of things and ideas you've crossed over into the far side.
I'm in the far side.
You're in the far side.
Go.
It is the middle ground between light and shadow.
Do you know what helped?
4 or 5 hour ride.
I jumped in the ocean. It helped.
Between science and superstition.
I gotta feel quick. I gotta feel quick. I gotta feel fast. I want to feel naked out there.
And it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge, the far side.
Cam side, and Cappy is here as well. What's up, Cappy?
Well, gentlemen, how are we today?
Good. Terrific.
Yeah. Come on, Andy.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that Andy was a troubled youth?
14-year-old Andy. What happened, Andy?
It really wasn't so much my troubled youth in this one story as it was a friend of mine. I was telling a story about how when
your daughter.
This began with my daughter had her middle school graduation yesterday, which was really nice. It was a really great ceremony, but like a couple of her friends were on stage reading a poem that they wrote that was very funny and it was very observant. And there was another one of her friends that sang, and there was like a girl that I don't know who she was, but she gave this really great speech about not being afraid of the unknown coming up. And I'm like, these kids are so much more well-spoken and well thought out and have their bleep together. I was like, when I was 14, all I was thinking about is, where can I buy cigarettes? And whose parents have we not stolen their liquor from yet? I'm like, they've got their bleep together so much.
No, they don't. Those kids don't have anything together. They use ChatGPT. They fooled you.
No, this was clearly not ChatGPT.
Yeah?
I could tell because it sounded smart, but like a 14-year-old.
Gotcha.
As opposed to, it didn't sound like.
Could you not prompt ChatGPT to say, make me sound like a smart 14-year-old?
It was too specific. There were too many references that I got because I've heard my daughter describe 8th grade at their school.
Okay.
Like there was too many things that were specific. It didn't sound like, remember the show Dawson's Creek?
Of course.
Those kids sounded like 28-year-olds as 16-year-olds because it was a writer's room of like late 20s, early 30s writing heightened language for 16-year-olds that sounded like adults. This didn't sound like that.
I hope it comes to be that they use ChatGPT. I really do. I hope that's what happens.
So we went from that to Andy telling him, I said to him, that sounds amazing. At 14, I was, not doing things like that. And it turns out Andy was trolling college bars and getting in knife fights with bouncers.
I was not getting into any knife fights.
Your friend pulled a knife on a bouncer.
A friend of mine.
14-year-old kid?
Yes.
What, like a little Swiss Army pocket knife?
No, it's like a stiletto. One of those, press the button and it comes out of the handle.
A switchblade?
It's a switchblade adjacent.
Okay,
like a
gotcha.
It's a cousin to a switchblade.
Yes.
Switchblade you open up, but this one it pops out.
It's not quite a butterfly knife. It's not quite a switchblade.
Did the bouncer kick his little 14-year-old ass?
Oh, yeah. And it was honestly really cool to watch. It was. He did a spinning like roundhouse kick first to knock the knife out of his hand, then to just clock him.
Wow.
And knocked him down. He ended up getting arrested.
What'd you guys do when your 14-year-old friend was getting beat up?
Oh, we left. I pretended
what you're supposed to do. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah, pretended like I had no idea who he was. But then I think the security at the bar and stuff started figuring out, hey, this one guy who looked way too young to be here, I wonder if all these other guys in here who look way too young to be here might be related to him. Then we almost all got arrested later on that night at the dorms. But a friend of mine whose cousin was in college and actually was the reason we were there in the first place managed to talk us out of getting arrested.
14-year-old kids now are not looking through their parents' alcohol anymore. They're definitely not looking for cigarettes, but they are looking for their parents' stash of weed.
Yes, they are. The edibles.
Yeah, different deal. I just stopped by for 1 minute just because I got a logic complaint with Travis Rogers.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Trav, it's very disheartening to me to hear a leader like yourself come on the airwaves and talk about our softball team. And I say our, not mine, our softball team.
Yeah.
And how you think we have no chance.
We got no chance.
I drafted you number 2 overall.
I was overdrafted.
No, you're a ball player. You are a ball player. You get your hips through the ball. You got skills. The issue is, and I've heard you say it, you don't care. I need a little more care from a leader like yourself. And when you look at these teams, I'm telling you, everybody thinks DeMarco's good. He's not. Everybody thinks DeAndre's an athlete. He is, but he's not a softball player. We can win this game, and it's great to be an underdog.
We need to get Trudell on our team.
Okay, we accepted Trudell yesterday.
Okay, good. He's
he on the
officially
team?
in?
Yes, he's on the team.
Okay, great.
So we have another ball player.
Helps. We getting
Okay.
Parker?
No, Parker goes to the other team.
Oh, no. I don't like that
Why
at all.
would Parker go to the other team?
Because
both
my
of them.
understanding was that we were able to get Trudell in exchange for giving the other team Parker.
Okay,
Your team keeps getting worse.
Yeah,
By the way,
we
Parker's new nickname is K-Boy. They like to call him F-Boy on Mason Island. He's K-Boy for a guy who strikes out a lot.
I'm starting to realize, by the way, Cappy, you may turn out to be I don't think I've ever played for a team where you manage, so I can't speak to your
This is the first time you and I are teammates.
Yes.
In this. We've been on opposite
I think
sides.
we've been teammates, but I don't recall if you've ever been the manager. But what I am discovering, though, Cappy, respectfully.
Thank you.
You're not a front office guy. Like, you're not a team builder. Like, that seems to be some of your weaknesses, like in terms of the way you draft, or you agreed to this deal where we get Trudell, but then the other team gets a guy. You needed to hoard Parker as well.
We needed them both.
What do you look at on their roster that is so significantly better than our roster?
Okay, I will tell you exactly what this is. That it is Brian Cohen.
Okay, he's good.
Well, Kirk, these players all have something in common besides just being good at this. It's Brian Cohen, Kirk Morrison, Jorge, Kamenetsky, and DeMarco. Okay, Brian BK. They can all catch the ball.
Catching.
The problem on our team is not that we don't have some people that can hit. Like, I'm going to be able to hit, Cappy. You're going to be able to hit. Mario's the one exception to this. Mario's going to hit and play defense. We don't have anybody that's going to play defense. These games are won and lost by
seen
the
Cappy
outs
play a
that you're
little
supposed to get.
Okay, I agree.
I've seen Cappy play
It's
some
not
defense.
hitting. It's catching fly balls and fielding ground balls.
So then you help me, okay?
Yeah.
You help me place where everybody belongs. For example, I think that Marcus Grant belongs out in like left field or center field.
Okay.
Because he played a little baseball as a kid.
Okay.
He knows how to roam the outfield. He was a shortstop, second baseman on all of his like pony ball teams and so on. So that usually means you're one of the better players when you play middle infield.
It also means that was when he was 12 or 13.
Okay, but fine. So we'll take him. We'll put him in the outfield. We must have a strong center fielder and a strong left fielder because almost everybody, other than myself, bats left-handed.
There's three spots that you need to be good defensively.
Shortstop, we've got Mario.
Yep.
Done.
Yep.
Okay.
Center field, I agree with you.
Okay.
Left field, I agree with you.
Okay, so
who plays center and left? Where are you going to play?
Well, where do you think I should play?
Center field.
Okay, I'll play center.
Okay.
Or I'll play left gladly. I'll play center field.
You
I
should
saw
play
you
center
play a
field.
good third base, though.
I played okay.
Less important.
Yes,
it's
I
not
agree.
unimportant, but it's less important.
Wait, Trudell can play center
Oh,
field.
that's
Even
right. We got
better.
Trudell on our
Even
team.
better. Okay,
Okay.
Morales just
Okay,
came in.
so
Trudell's in center. I'll play left. If you
left
want.
or third.
Okay, I'll play third.
Okay, here's the question about Trudell at center, though. Is he tall enough to get over the fence?
Yes. The answer is the fence is only 2 feet.
Okay,
so he
then
can
I'm
actually
sure he can do
he
that.
can get over it. Yes.
So maybe.
It's not the Green
It's
Monster
a
out
maybe.
there.
It's a maybe.
He's going to try, which is
Okay.
a huge bonus for our team because he's going to make up for the want factor that I lack.
Oh, Trudell will try.
No, I know. And,
He
and,
cares.
and
Yes,
that's good.
Trudell cares a lot.
Yeah, I think you're going to get what you get from me, Cappy. I'll hit the ball.
Yep, I know you will. You'll play a good first base for us.
If this is anything in this general area,
Right?
I will catch.
Okay, you'll
That's
play
it.
first. I'll play third.
Okay.
Mario plays short. Maybe we take somebody like Momo and put her at second. Just thinking out, or maybe Momo pitches.
I think Momo pitches.
Okay, so Momo pitches. Then what we do is we take Bergman and put him at second.
Okay.
Okay, because Bergman can actually play a little bit. So, a little bit.
We'll see.
Then we take Trudell in center. We put Marcus in left.
You're going to play third?
And I'll play third. And we'll have a good defense.
We can be subject to changing you and Marcus if need be.
Absolutely. I'm happy to play left field.
All right.
Happy to play left. And then we'll hide people. Like Kasim, for example. We'll put him in right field. Nobody's hitting the ball
Have
to
we
right
ever
field.
got confirmation that Kasim has ever put a glove on his hand?
Kasim has never put a glove on his hand. And Kasim last year took batting practice, and it was against baseballs at about 60 miles an hour, and the kid's never swung a bat in his life.
Knocked him over.
Right. So
That's what I'm talking about when I say, Cappy, you're not a front office guy, respectfully.
Thank you.
Great manager, great motivator.
Thank
great
you. Motivator. Motivational
You
speaker.
are a great motivator. You're not a front office guy.
Okay, so you don't love my draft, but let me just say this. Let's be the underdog and shock the world. Let's not go out there with a negative attitude of we're going to get our asses handed to us because they've got DeAndre. I promise you, DeAndre, good basketball player, not a softball player.
Notice I didn't mention
Yeah.
DeAndre.
DeMarco,
DeAndre is not the
DeMarco, good athlete to play football, one-trick pony.
DeMarco can catch and throw.
Okay.
DeMarco is not a great hitter, but again, I keep coming back to this, Cap. This is as weird as it sounds, this is a defensive-oriented
I
game.
understand. Funchy, terrible.
Yes.
Sedano won't show up as Andy. Okay. Brian Kamenetsky will get hurt. DeAndre will
No,
not.
Brian might get hurt.
Of course. Kirk Morrison, by the way, Kirk Morrison is feast or famine. It's one or the other.
He'll be fine.
Okay. All right, listen, I just wanted to lodge that complaint. Go back to work. I'm out of here.
I'm not going to say I'm going to do it for sure, but I will take your request under consideration.
Thank you.
You know, maybe you just need to trade Travis. Like,
I
don't know if you want this energy in our clubhouse.
I won't do it. No.
I'm Rafael Devers.
You are Rafael. Well, I don't want to play there. We're not going to win.
I'm going to have to fly out to go visit with him and try and kiss his ass.
I would dare say it might be worth trading Travis at his lowest value, where it feels like you're getting hosed on the deal, but what we get back in chemistry, what we get back in unity.
What do you think you could get for me?
I wonder if we can get Parker.
Oh, you should do that.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving up on my player. I'm not giving up on my guy. I believe in all my guys.
I feel like since I need to pull this up here for a second, but since I homered in the inaugural game,
does Travis go deep? Travis goes deep.
I have not done much.
You're going to do much this year. I got to go. I love you guys.
Overdrafted. Thanks, Cap.
That was properly drafted.
Yeah, I should be behind Momo and Greg, and then maybe
I think I am neither bad nor great. I'm fine. In all honesty, in the 2 games I've played, I've barely done anything, which totally cool with.
That's the bar.
I have barely done, like, I've only had 1 ball hit to me, and you've agreed that was not a playable ball.
No, it's a tough play.
Like, other than that,
your mistake. If I'm scouting you,
please, I could use the help.
No, your mistake was attempting to catch it at all.
Right.
That had you just stood there and let it drop, it would have been funny. Like, what did you want me to do? Try?
Well, I think it was equally funny that I attempted it.
Roger Dorn from Major League. What do you want me to do? Dive for it?
But I mean, other than that, I have not touched a ball, I think, in the field. I've gotten on base a couple times, but I've never gone long. I've mostly just stayed out of the way, which is great.
That is my entire ethos in this game: is stay out of the way. If I'll hit, I will try to hit the ball, and other than that, whatever, you're going to get what you're going to get. I still want more 14-year-old thug Andy conversations to come up a little bit. You know, you are who you associate with, Andy. Just as I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kamenetsky told you, you know, your friends say a lot about you. Who you hang out with is a representation of who you are.
That is true.
We need to make good choices along the way. LeBron doesn't like ring culture. That's next. It's Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Go! Oh, well. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a portable 9-band radio with flashlight when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 23rd.
Number 2.
Drew Baldridge, July 24th.
And the number 1 reason.
We're lighting up the sky at the Summer Bash. Celebrate the start of summer with a dazzling fireworks display. The 27th at 9 p.m.
Morongo. Good times.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland. The industry's idea of a healthier tomorrow, where vapes are deemed safer. Never mind, they can contain cancer-causing arsenic and lead. And they're anti-aging, because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the deadliest industry can rebrand itself as your friend.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns, live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show, now mornings 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
I'm not going to do this right now, Andy, but Carlo from the social media crew, the social media leader, just came in and gave me a couple of packs of baseball cards that I'm going to open at some point on air today. But this is it's like Christmas. It's the anticipation. I just like having them sitting here in front of me.
You're taking Tokyo series?
What's that?
Tokyo series, sorry.
One is a Tokyo series from Topps. The other is a Bowman 2025. And I am I'm not getting back in because it's too expensive. It's just the hobby of collecting memorabilia. It's just, first of all, there's a ton of stuff, and I'm not educated on it anymore. But just little packs of baseball cards still make my day. Can't wait to open them.
It's like a 14-year-old sense memory.
Yes. 14-year-old and no knives and no clubs and no police involved. Again, like normal 14-year-olds.
This was not a
no rumble.
Right. There was no rumble. Thank you, Emily. Yes.
Where there's sharks and jets that are fighting in construction sites.
That movie
boy.
really bothered me. Because the opening scene is that. I'm like, come
when you're
on.
a jet, you're the jet. All the way from your first something breath to the last dying day.
Can't do it. It is ESPN LA's Legends launch presented by our friends at Legends Attic. It's all part of what we've been talking about. ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday night, right around the corner, July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex. Step up to the plate, take your shot in a high-energy challenge to hit as many balls as you can in 90 seconds. Bring your own bat and helmet and bring your big swing because spots are limited. Head to ESPNLA.com right now to reserve your spot. Step up, swing big, be legendary. By the way, I've nailed that read like 10 times in a row now, Em.
But now you're not going to nail it because you just said it.
Maybe. I could have self-jinxed myself along the way. Little breaking news, right? Rays owner Stu Sternberg is closing in on a $1.7 billion deal to sell the franchise. Front Office Sports has confirmed. The agreement, though not done, involves a signed letter of intent with a group led by Jacksonville developer Patrick Zalupski.
Does not have a stadium.
Does not have a stadium. Just real quick, the Rays are a really good team as far as like their infrastructure works really well. They draft well, they develop well. They're very competitive in a division with teams with very deep pockets that are very committed. The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and even Baltimore has a pretty good team this year, even though even though this year they're struggling a little bit. If the Tampa Bay Rays, like you just said, Em, their stadium got demolished by a hurricane, are selling for nearly $2 billion, the Tampa Bay Rays are a $2 billion business. What the hell are the Yankees and Dodgers worth?
10? 12?
Okay,
I think 10 times, potentially.
So 10 would mean they are roughly 5 times more valuable than the Tampa Bay. It's more than that, right? I don't know if it's 10 because 10 puts us in the $20 billion range.
10, 12. I mean, 6 times. 6 times is a lot when you're dealing with billions.
Yeah. I mean, that they're being sold, good. I hope whoever buys them pours money into them and more good teams, the better. But can you imagine if you are the Steinbrenners or the Guggenheim Group, Michael? It's like, am I sitting on a $14 billion product?
The answer is yes.
Crazy.
It's nuts. By the way, I had no idea that Stu Sternberg was the owner of the Rays. Like I think most people, including citizens of Tampa. But I just Googled Stu Sternberg. He looks exactly like
Stu Sternberg.
He looks like a guy that you picture owning a sports team.
Yeah,
like because they all have the same look. They all look like this.
You know what they all look? Healthy and rich.
Yeah. This guy looks healthy and rich.
Let me guess on his complexion.
Yeah. There is a billionaire's glow that comes
Yes,
along.
look at him. He's got an actual glow.
Of course
It's
he does.
called PRP.
Hey, let me ask you this. When do you think the last time that guy had a bad day was? Like a genuinely, and I'm not talking about like
today. I'll
like
tell you
where
that much.
he stubbed his toe or he got a cold. Like, we all get that kind of stuff. But where he's like, man, I don't know.
I'll tell you this, it was not today.
Man.
You get close to $2 billion to take that thing off your hands because I realize it's $1 billion property, all that stuff. And all these guys are like, the overwhelming majority of them, like when you're talking about people that aren't the Buss family, like, the Lakers, no matter what you think of Jeannie Buss as an owner, the Buss family, the stewardship post Dr. Buss, like this is their family legacy. Like this is their identity. This is something that they truly do care about, regardless of how well you think they do in caring about it. For most of these owners now, this is a plaything that is the perks of being so rich, and you're just part of an exclusive club.
It's that.
So he got $2 billion to take this thing that has to be a total pain in the ass off his hands.
Yeah.
Because owning the Rays after a while is not fun.
No, it's
That's
not
not fun at
but
all.
It allows you membership to the club.
Yep.
And it is an incredibly exclusive club. There are only 30 of those. They're not, at least no time soon, they're not making any more. And they don't come up for sale all that often. And once you're in, it's like you're a different level of billionaire as opposed to just a guy with a lot of money.
Pablo Torre has his podcast for the Meadowlark Media Company.
Pablo Finds Out.
Pablo Torre Finds Out, part of the Levitard podcast company. He did a really great recent episode about Live Golf.
I listened to it.
Yeah, and connecting it to like Trump and who I don't know his name, but the main investor from Saudi Arabia. And like one of the big commonalities is these super rich guys, they can afford to buy whatever they want, but they can't gain membership automatically into anything until they own, say, a golf club or a golf league. Like that was one of the common things that these guys could not buy their way into.
That you can't buy your way, and the example they used in the podcast, you can't buy your way into Augusta. They got to ask you.
Right.
They don't care how much money you have, and it's not just Augusta. There are these places that you can't. So what they do is, I'll go build my own.
Right, and I mean, look, removing the politics aside, like that is something that has been well documented with Donald Trump going back to like the 80s and 90s, that it drove him insane that even as a billionaire, these very exclusive places in New York and then also some of these clubs would not take him as a member.
Yeah.
And it's been considered for a long time. It's one
one
of the driving forces to why he became a golf developer in the first place.
It's ultimately what, and not to get too far down the rabbit hole here, it's ultimately what killed the USFL. Stay out of this, Emily. I'm old enough to remember when the USFL was playing. The USFL worked. It was a real thing. Now, it wasn't working in the sense of they were playing in front of 50,000 people, but what they were doing is they had siphoned off enough of the really high-end players. Steve Young, Jim Kelly, Reggie White, Herschel Walker, Doug Flutie, like really big-name guys went to the USFL rather than come to the NFL. They played in the spring, so they didn't go head-to-head with the NFL, and it started to gain real traction. It started to become a viable entity. Then they moved it to the fall to compete with the NFL, in large part because Donald Trump wanted to go.
Yes.
And he had the New Jersey Generals. He owned that team. And he was under the assumption that they were going to get merged the way the AFL and the NFL did. And he thought that one of the few teams that would survive would be the New York team. Well, it didn't. The league went out of business. So you're right. I wanted to get in the club. They won't let me in, but maybe I can build my own thing. And all of a sudden I'm in. And that's what ultimately killed the league.
There's a great documentary, a 30 for 30 documentary about it. I want to say it's called Small Potatoes.
Yeah.
But it's about the USFL and that merger that failed everything. Also, Jeff Pearlman, I'm pretty sure, has a book about killing the USFL.
Yep.
I'm sure he loved writing that as Jeff Pearlman.
Yes.
Some notes, too. This is an article from February of this year of valuations, not valuations of the top sports teams in the world. And number one is not a surprise, but it's Cowboys. But they were valued at $10.32 million. Okay. So I would say the Dodgers, and here's the Yankees number. The Yankees were at $7.93 billion. I think that's too low.
So the Cowboys are what, Em? What's the number?
10.32.
Okay, let's round it off. Let's say it's 10.
Sure.
And let's round off the Rays, and let's say it's 2. And I get we're pulling the top down and we're pushing the bottom up, but close enough. The Dallas Cowboys are arguably the premier sports brand in this country. Maybe the Yankees, maybe the Lakers, but the Cowboys are certainly
they're in that conversation.
In that conversation. They're only 5 times more valuable than the least valuable brand in American sports, which I would imagine Tampa has to be close. They don't have a stadium, or the one they had is destroyed. It has to be more than 5x. One of those two numbers is wrong.
Maybe this guy overpaid for the raise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And
Like
I have a feeling the number on the bottom is not the wrong one. I think it's the one on the top. It's
I don't
not
know.
high enough.
It's interesting because we're starting to get in this period now when these teams are getting sold. Everybody's reaction is, wait, it's sold for that much? So I'm wondering if actually the top number is right. That's just as high as it's ever going to get. Like if some of these middle teams are the ones becoming overinflated because the top number is actually right.
Congrats, who said the bigger number. Succession.
Right.
Another just piece of breaking-ish news, but Baltimore Ravens now have signed former Packers cornerback Jair Alexander, so Rams will not be getting that cornerback.
Yeah, Rams not going to get him. I think they're getting their ducks in a row to get Jalen Ramsey in here when they can get that done. Just one last thought on the Tampa thing and relative to how it affects Major League Baseball. And the A's are in the process of maybe moving to Las Vegas. They're going to be in Sacramento for at least 2 more seasons after this one. God only knows how that plays out. But they claim, we don't have enough to do this, that, or that. We got to move. Guys, this is the worst run, not the worst run team, but one of the least valuable teams in your sport. Just sold for nearly $2 billion. The Dodgers, I know everything's expensive over there. I know that, they defer all this money. Guys, the Dodgers put the money back on the field.
Yes, they do.
They put the money back on the field. So your team, the Dodgers, you can do it too. Maybe not quite to this level, but if one of the least valuable teams in this sport is worth $2 billion or close to it, and you are watching all your good players leave before you have to pay them, that's your owner's choice, not the sport's choice.
That is why I have no patience for are the Dodgers ruining baseball conversation. Like, do the Dodgers have certain advantages? Yes, they obviously do. Like their TV deal, their ownership group, location, tradition, all that stuff, yes. But it doesn't change the fact that all of these other owners could spend more than they do.
Exactly.
And they often use the Dodgers as an excuse. Well, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We can't compete with them. Therefore, we don't sell it all. We don't spend it all. You could do more if you wanted to. You choose not to.
You don't have to spend like the Dodgers, but you don't also have to spend like you're going out of business every day.
It's like the NBA's new CBA. These restrictions that are more punitive, they're more complicated for making deals. First apron, second apron, luxury tax. These are all things that are implemented by the owners in order to create the obstacles so where they can't spend.
The Dodgers aren't ruining baseball. What they're doing is they're exposing the other owners who are unwilling to meet basic requirements.
1,000%.
Right. Like the Pittsburgh Pirates don't have to spend like the Dodgers to win that division.
They can spend more.
The Pittsburgh Pirates would have to spend slightly more than they do right now to compete in the National League Central, and they choose not to.
Well, this gets to something that I always say, and I even talk about this with somebody like, say, Steve Ballmer, who it's pretty clear he is willing to spend on the Clippers, invest in the building, he's invested in the team. He has maybe more money than any individual owner in sports, but even he cares.
Yeah.
Like you will never find an owner in sports, I don't care how rich they are, they all care about the money. Some more than others, but they all care.
Yeah. They don't all care about winning. They all care about the money, but they don't all care about winning. And I think you got a pretty good look at that with the price for the Tampa Bay Rays. All right, back to LeBron, or not even back to LeBron. We'll talk about the ring culture that LeBron says is kind of chewing up the NBA. By the way, he's right. That's coming up. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
Hey, guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's mover trains rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Ready for a delicious escape? The New Islands Restaurant's $10 protein bowls are your ticket. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients. They're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com.
Hey, it's John Ireland. If you've been searching for an energy drink that actually works without the crash or junk, look no further than Pro Baller Energy. Made with clean ingredients and natural caffeine, it gives you a smooth, focused boost, whether you're at work, on the golf course, or just need a pick-me-up. It's energy you can feel good about, and the limited edition Lakers can makes it even better. Find Pro Baller at Costco, Amazon, and select convenience stores today. Try it and see why champions choose clean energy.
Hey, it's Mason. Tough times, a lot of people find themselves owing money to the IRS. It can really weigh you down and you're confused about the right way to handle it. And all those scary ads on the radio about the IRS, they don't help. Tax relief advocates want you to relax, knowing that whether you owe $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 in tax debt, you don't have to fear the IRS another day. TRA has a proven 3-step tax resolution process, plus they're experts at working with special programs available from the IRS to help taxpayers get back on track. Easy to see why they have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. If you owe money to the IRS and feel trapped, don't lose hope. Tax relief advocates could reduce or even eliminate your debt. End your tax nightmare today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. Again, 800-575-1482.
Mark your calendars, SoCal. The High Desert Beer and Wine Festival returns to the Palmdale Amphitheater on Saturday, June 21st from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sample craft brews from regional breweries, sip fine wines, and enjoy tasty food trucks while rocking out to live performances from Eve 6, DJ A1, and some of the best cover bands around. It's the tastiest party of the summer. Tickets available at highdesertbeerandwinefest.com. General admission and VIP options available. That's highdesertbeerandwinefest.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Still waiting to open my baseball cards here in a minute. Pasadena Front Row Card Show coming up June 21 through the 22nd. Do I start with the Japan series, the Tokyo series, or do I start with my Bowmans?
Get Bowmans. Maybe we get a heel.
Oh, yeah, let's look for a heel. Let's look for a heel real quick. Like I mentioned, Pasadena Front Row Card Show, June 21, 22 at the Pasadena Convention Center. And we do like some of these openings on social occasions. All right, so here's
Wait, you also had to have ASMR. You had to have the rip next to the mic. There we go.
There you go. So this is what they do when they open card packs. Now, not that I watch people open baseball cards on Instagram. I definitely don't do that.
You're like one of those kids who watches toy boxes getting unwrapped on YouTube.
These are called unboxings or unwrappings or whatever. And then so they do this, Andy. So I'll do it for the YouTube. So you get all the cards. They're all lined up so you can't see what's underneath, right? And then they spread them apart like that to see if anything glints or shines.
You look like you're doing a magic trick.
Well, I kind of sort of. So these little silver, see how those are silver in the middle of the pack? Now that means there's something in there.
Oh.
Now I don't that's the extent of my knowledge. Zach Wheeler, he's pretty good. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, he's there. Connor Norby on the Marlins. That's a person, apparently.
I have no idea who that is.
Shout out Norby.
Alejandro Rosario. Okay. Anderson Brito. That's okay. Here's the. Okay, I thought I knew all the guys on the Dodgers. This is Hyun Seok Jang. Never, ever heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Korean player appears to be.
What does the stats say?
Let's see.
When did he play?
This is his minor league pitching record. He pitched in 2024. He pitched 18 games in the minor leagues. He is from, South Korea. Okay.
Well, maybe he has an amazing career ahead of him.
Maybe he does. Maybe this is his rookie card.
Hang on to that
one.
Hang on to that one.
Yeah, this could be one of those guys that the Dodgers send out for somebody else they get down the line. One of my silver, Colt Emerson. Okay. Chase Hampton. Okay. And David Festa. Oh, Trey Turner, former Dodger Trey Turner.
Greatest slide in baseball.
Yeah. It was
hypnotic.
It was hypnotic. That's a perfect description.
A lot of aura.
There's a lot of things in baseball that if you watch baseball or ever played baseball, you realize how difficult they are to do, right? To turn a double play is incredibly difficult. To run into the gap as an outfielder and catch a ball over your shoulder is incredibly difficult to do. To backhand a ball in the hole, it's short, incredible. But rarely does a baseball player just look super athletic and smooth. And then Trey Turner did that slide.
It's like he was doing ballet.
It was incredible.
In baseball. Like his slides were hypnotic. I could easily watch like a YouTube compilation of Trey Turner slides. I would watch that all day.
I was bummed. Look, it all worked out. Dodgers won the World Series. Mookie's playing short, so it all worked. When you had Seager and Turner, you're like, no matter what happens, we're good. That they got neither of those guys was like, oh, okay.
It is kind of crazy that an organization that is as well run as the Dodgers, and for the most part, they make a lot of really good decisions. They plan ahead, all that stuff. They have not been able to land on a shortstop, like one of the most important positions in baseball, in several years.
Something got missed because they clearly
didn't like the Hollywood lifestyle.
They clearly knew that Seager was a possibility to leave.
They did not do the intel on Turner.
So they hedged with Turner, but they didn't know that he was unlikely to stay. And he was unlikely to stay. And then Gavin Lux never became the player that they were hoping he would, especially defensively. Right. So now one of the greatest defensive right fielders of all time is your shortstop.
And I love this. I love the Mookie experiment. I find this so interesting.
It is interesting. I don't love it.
It's impressive what he's doing.
It's very impressive, and he's holding his own. He's like the numbers will tell you he's pretty good.
He only has, I think, 3 errors.
He's doing a fine job. Like I you cannot say Does he look comfortable to you over there? Because he doesn't to me. Like everything that he does looks like he's processing it in real time.
He looks comfortable to me. I don't think it looks second nature yet. Maybe that's the way I would put it.
Okay.
But in some ways, because like for right now, we know the Dodgers are really good. And also with all the injuries, you can't even evaluate them because like this isn't the team. So for me, I just find this really interesting to watch because what he is doing is so hard.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It is so hard to do.
I genuinely don't have a good answer. I've speculated that maybe because Ohtani is such a one-of-one talent that Mookie almost like did like a self-reflection, like what could I do to challenge myself to even approach this sort of level of ridiculousness that, hey, what if I just decided to play shortstop in my 30s?
Like it is like
because nothing else makes sense.
To do what he is doing at this level with really no background in it.
Since high school.
It is insanely hard. And that he is actually, I mean, forget just like you can put him out there without him ruining everything. Like he's actually, I think, doing pretty well. Like even if it doesn't look second nature yet, he doesn't look like he's hurting anything. That is astonishing.
It is. It is astonishing, and it's also something that should not be happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it does speak to the fact that they have not landed on a shortstop.
They have not. And if he were the defensive equivalent, let's say of Teoscar Hernandez in the outfield, he's okay. You know, he's not. They're not going to stack Gold Gloves in Teoscar's locker. Mookie Betts is the best defensive right fielder of his generation. He wasn't just good; he was historically good. He was a multiple-time Gold Glove winner. Like that's the part that I lose track of is like why are we getting worse in 3 places? We're worse in right field, we're worse in left field, and we're worse at shortstop.
Well, but again, it goes back to because they don't have a shortstop. Like as much as Mookie clearly wants to do this.
Clearly,
if they had a solidified shortstop, they would tell Mookie no. Like we're not going to move this guy who's a legit shortstop to wherever else in order for you
Trey
to do
Turner or Corey Seager,
right.
we would not be doing
some of this is being done by we haven't landed on the guy. Somebody needs to play it.
You mentioned a second ago that they haven't kind of taken off the way that I think a lot of us expected them to. They might be starting to. They're especially now that they're getting towards the end of this run against really good teams. It's been about a month. They're slightly over 500 in this run, but they're starting to create some space in their division. But you're right. They've done it without a pitching staff to speak of. They've done it with half of a bullpen. The half that they have has been quite good. But they've also done it with Mookie being good, not great, offensively. offensively. By MLB standards, Mookie Betts is having a fine offensive season. By Mookie Betts standards, he's having something that's a little bit below the line.
Okay, in the comments section right now for the Travis and DeMarco YouTube page, Chris Villapondo says, you guys make it sound like he's doing something that's never been done before in human history. Calm down. You're underselling this, Chris. Like, the degree of difficulty of what Mookie is doing without that background this late into his career, you're way underselling how hard this is.
We've seen it happen, and not a lot, but you've seen it happen the other way, where an aging infielder may transition to a corner outfield spot. That will happen.
Or even a corner
isn't going
infield.
to first base.
Yes,
or outfield.
going to first base.
This is going from the outfield, and right field is not an easy position to play, but it's to the only thing harder than playing shortstop in the major leagues
Center
is
field.
catching.
Oh, okay.
And he's not going to do that, but shortstop is the
Catching
next
is the
hardest spot, and he's hanging in there. And that's underselling it. It's more than hanging in there. He said it happens all the time. No, it doesn't.
No.
By major league standards, this is one of, I think, 2 occasions where a regular outfielder had been out there. I think the number is for like 6 or more seasons that has come into the infield and played there every single day.
I can't think of a comp.
I think it was Tony Womack. And again, Tony Womack is Tony Womack. No disrespect, but Mookie Betts is a Hall of Famer, and he's doing it.
Right,
It's
like
usually
this isn't like a utility player. Like, this isn't Kike.
No.
I mean, like, look, to make it clear, what Kike does is incredibly impressive.
Sure.
To be able to play that many positions is really impressive in its own right. But, like, Kike was never like a Gold Glove, one of the best in baseball at his position.
Or even Edman, who was the NLCS MVP, goes in the outfield and is in the infield, but he's not the level of Mookie.
It's shortstop, first of all. He's not a utility player. He was a right fielder. Like, Edman is a utility player.
Yeah.
Chris Taylor, utility player. Kike Hernandez, and I don't mean that derisively. I mean, they play all over. You train to do this. It's not what Mookie did.
They are a true, like, the Edmonds, the Kikes, like when Arier growing up, like Jose Oquendo.
Sure.
They are the jack of all trades, master of none. And at the major league level, you have to be really talented to be the jack of all trades. But the master moving to another position like that, it is actually pretty unheard of.
It's incredibly impressive. Factor Cap is coming up next. Trav, and he's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN. So Next Gen for their incredible air conditioning and heating services. I've had them out for air conditioning. I've had them out for plumbing services as well. But like I just said, they do plumbing at Next Gen just as good as anybody, right? So if you've been noticing leaks around your home, maybe you've got a clogged drain. I know a lot of us have that drain in the house that just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Next Gen can help with plumbing problems, both large and small. And for a limited time, Next Gen's offering you, the ESPN LA listener, a drain cleaning for just, check this out, $88. Their expert technicians will work to clear even the toughest clog. Plus, they can check your pipes for any other signs of damage. And we're talking slab leak repairs, clogged drains, water filtration, everything you can come up with in between. You can trust Next Gen for expert plumbing services and high quality work. For instance, my water heater blew up. First call, bam, Next Gen. So they've got you covered when it comes to financing, all sorts of financing options. Legendary 5-star service. They're available every day, 7 days a week. So don't wait. Give them a call right now. 833-3-NEXT-GEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN to schedule your $88 drain cleaning. Next Gen is here for you today and for years to come.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
That's Mason in Ireland.
Crazy. I was stupid and young and reckless. Stupid, young, and reckless. It's great
That
to be that
sounds
way
fun to me.
at some point, yeah.
Mason in Ireland. Weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. If you're ready to upgrade your driving experience, you gotta go and check out what's happening at Cadillac and their incredible new lineup of state-of-the-art EVs, sedans, and SUVs. And hey, look, there's no better place to experience the luxury of Cadillac than at Cadillac of Beverly Hills. Check out Cadillac of Beverly Hills and their beautiful showroom at 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And check them out on the web at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Here we go. It is Factor Cap time. Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down, and fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap right now.
Take it away, producer Emily.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, guys.
Aloha.
Buenos dias.
Ahoy, hoy.
Thought you were going to, I don't know.
I didn't hear Jorge. That was the
do
part.
one of your youth sayings.
No.
Okay, so before I get into my statement and my story with the first Factor Cap, I would need you guys to look up Rastelli Foods Group, okay? And look up a
How do you spell
round dog. Rastelli Foods Group. Rastelli.
Okay.
They are famous, I guess now, or infamous for the round dog, which is a flat hot dog. They're making a patty.
So they're making bologna?
Out of a hot dog, yes.
Okay.
They're not reinventing the wheel here. Yeah. But the idea of a flat dog, to me, is an abomination. I don't need a flat hot dog. Give me a hot dog. The reason I have a hot dog is because I like the snap. I like the shape. I like the sausage. I want the bun. I want all of that. I want a hot dog. I don't want a burger if I'm having a hot dog. So this is an abomination. Travis Factor Cap.
Cap. It's a bologna sandwich. It's the exact same thing. It's like if you took a hot dog and put it in, like, you know, those tortilla presses that you flatten the masa out to make the perfect, it would come out a slice of bologna. It's just, I get it. It's I don't know. It feels like a bologna sandwich to me. Not a big deal.
It potentially might be made of different product, which is why.
Bologna is not made with USDA prime meats.
Neither hot dogs nor bologna are made of actual meat.
Yeah, they're left with whatever's left on the floor. We'll use that.
Andy?
Fact for me, but only because I despise hot dogs, so I consider them all abominations. I don't care about the presentation.
What about bologna? Are you out on bologna?
I hate bologna too.
Okay.
And you're correct. It's the exact same taste, but I hate hot dogs, so wrong guy to ask.
Always in you, like, for your whole life?
Yep.
Or
didn't like them as a little kid, have never liked them since.
Learn it every
You're missing out.
Another chapter.
No, I'm not.
Jorge?
I love hot dogs. I'm with you. I don't like the idea that they're round. I don't even like the idea when they make it into a Polish sandwich or whatever, where they cut it in half. Like, I don't even like that, to be honest with you.
That's a bad take.
I just
Let me explain to you the best way and the best place to get a hot dog. Golf courses, I don't know why this is a golf course thing, but it's a golf course thing. They will split the dog like you're talking about. They'll cut it, they'll butterfly the dog, right? And they will typically cook it on the flat top at the halfway house at the golf course, so it gets a little of that crust on both the inside and the outside, and then they put it back in the bun, and then there's that little like groove in the hot dog that catches all the stuff. You're welcome.
Yeah.
My dad always did the either not like spiralized it, but like diagonal cuts on it, so the stuff still gets in there, and also grills it well.
That's a good way to do it.
So this is an abomination. You guys all agreed with me. So
that's what Emily heard.
Emily, do you like a bologna sandwich?
I can take it or leave it.
Yeah, I think that's about right. That's where I am. If you gave me one, I would certainly eat it. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it's the same thing, right? I mean,
but then they told me it's a round hot dog, and I don't like it. Okay, so
fried
I know
bologna sandwich, not the worst thing in the world.
I know that Travis, your wife's hall pass is John Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
and Andy, your wife's is Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Jorge, what's your wife's?
Oh man, she
Gail?
has so many.
Gail Garcia Bernal?
I guess Diego Luna.
Yeah, Diego Luna. Okay. Anybody from It's Mama Tambien, we'll just put it in there. Okay, so there has been those lookalike contests that happen across the country. They had one last weekend for Pedro Pascal. So they had a Pedro Pascal lookalike contest. The winner was Pedro number 5. And he does look a lot like Pedro Pascal. Like, obviously, like, not the polished, like, money version of Pedro.
Movie star Pedro?
Yes. He was on The Daily Show yesterday.
Pedro or the lookalike?
Pedro number 5 was on The Daily Show. And he had a plea for Pedro Pascal, the real one. He looked down the camera and said, Pedro, would you please meet my wife? She's your number 1 fan / you're her hall pass. Please meet my wife.
That's funny.
So you guys all said the hall pass is for your wives. You want her to meet him. Andy, Fetter Cap.
Yeah, we've talked about this before with my wife and the hall pass being Chris Evans. If my wife could actually bag Chris Evans, like assuming that he is a responsible presence around my daughter, somebody that I don't have a problem with, like I would be an a-hole to stand in the way of that. Like he can open so many different worlds and opportunities for my daughter, like increase the lifestyle. There's obviously
your daughter would have the Stu Stenberg glow.
Yes, absolutely.
I actually did see on TikTok yesterday his house is up for sale and it's on open house. Someone did a tour of his home. They'd have a pretty fun time there.
Right. Like make no mistake, there's going to be a nice palimony check sent to me because, my wife and I are a 2-income family. Like, I have to be able to adjust. I'm accustomed to a certain lifestyle. But if she can make this work, and again, he's suitable to be around my daughter, it's irresponsible of me to stand in the way of this.
Well, Travis, you're an empty nester, so you don't necessarily need to work with that. But you want Susan to meet John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think it would be incredibly interesting and fun. And I would love to see her get geeked out about it. And
yeah, I think it's almost like the benefit of seeing your wife get that fun or get like that maybe nervous or.
But you're not pawning off Susan the way I am with my wife.
No, well, Susan and I have known each other since we were 12 years old. Okay, so we've known each other basically our entire lives, and she's had it bad for John Bon Jovi as long as I've known her. So this would be a big moment for her. I'd like to see her have it.
All right, Jorge, what do you think?
Yeah, and she'll geek out too because she's, when I used to work TV, we had different artists, different bands come over, and then I had the opportunity to bring her and take her backstage and meet some of these people, and she would be shy. Like it was just she wouldn't talk the same way in front of them. Obviously, she was just very, very shy. So yeah, why not?
That's great.
All right, so one last one for you guys. So Aaron Andrews and Krista Thompson host the Calm Down podcast, and they were Aaron Andrews was talking about a thing that plagues society, and I'm going to have her explain it to you.
I got another complaint. What do we got? The selfies in the bathroom of your super cute outfit are for the birds. I'm not going to call you thirsty, but so desperado to take a picture of your outfit. Here's my outfit. And, do you know how much bacteria and odors are in that place? Like, get out of the public bathroom and find another. Like, no one needs to see the stink and the paper towel dispenser as we're getting a full-length view of your trashy outfit. Get out of the public restroom. Wow. It's so bizarre.
Yes, and so she is very much against the public restroom, the shared restroom, full-length mirror selfies. And I count myself on the side of this. I don't want to be in the background of someone else's photo. I don't want to be washing my hands or, I don't know, fixing my hair in the back of some girl's outfit. I don't need to see it. So you agree with Aaron. Jorge, fact or cap?
100% fact. Yeah, like there's places you're not supposed to take a picture. Also, can you guys stop making that duck face when you take a picture? You know that?
I have never taken a duck face picture.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, people out there, they take a duck face picture, and I tell Brenda all the time, like, why do you have to do the duck face for it? So selfies in the bathroom,
I think that's a little outdated at this point, or maybe it's just millennial women.
I was going to say, tell that to the kids. I can promise you it's not outdated.
I was going to say something else. But anyway, it's actually illegal, too, to take pictures in bathrooms in most states. I think California might be illegal. Same for Florida. Travis.
So, forgive me. What's the question exactly?
You agree with Aaron that they should outlaw bathroom selfies, that you shouldn't be taking pictures in public restrooms.
Yeah, cap. I mean, it's not for me. It's stupid. It is a little gross, and I understand why you wouldn't want to catch somebody else in the picture. But I've long ago given up my feelings about people taking pictures of themselves. It's not for me, but apparently that's all a certain segment of the population do, is take endless amount of pictures of themselves with their friends over and over again. The whole point of going out is to take the picture as opposed to actually going out and having a good time with the people that you care about. I don't get it. I think it's stupid, but if you want to go do it, knock yourself out.
Andy?
I'm going cap. And the reasons why a lot of what Aaron Andrews said, I understand where she's coming from, and I don't necessarily think she's wrong. But the problem is there's something about bathroom lighting where everybody looks great.
In certain bathrooms, not all bathrooms. But
I have found more bathrooms than not. I don't know if it's the effect of like the large full-length mirrors or certain lighting. Like I remember particularly Dodger Stadium media room bathroom. I would walk in there and like I'd wash my hands. I'd be like,
good.
I was like, I look like an effing Greek god. Like there's, and I find this consistently in a lot of bathrooms. For whatever reason, you look really good.
Is it just that there's a lot of light in there?
I don't know if it's a combination of the lighting, the specific mirror. I do think the selfie off the mirror in the bathroom, it looks weird. But again, the setup of it, for whatever reason, works. It's a strange thing. And again, Aaron isn't necessarily wrong with what she's saying, but I get why they happen.
And don't worry, I actually was the one that got him in there.
I don't think so.
Trav.
Mine buzzed him.
I got it first. I saw it, and then he went in. So I won that one.
Number one draft pick. Likes telling people that they're wrong.
Are you? Do you have any more cards to go through?
I got one more pack.
All right, we'll do it later in the show.
Yeah, for sure. I need to savor this one. This is the Tokyo series, which means we got a high probability of Yamamoto, Sasaki, Ohtani's, and all the Dodger players. So I'm excited about that. Factor Cap. It's brought to you by the law office of Joseph S. Normand. You got a lot of choices in your legal team, but Joe, family always comes first. Call 213-747-2000, 213-747-2000, or visit normandlegal.com. I'm going to play that sound for you from LeBron talking about ring culture. It's coming up. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it.
Yeah, tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives. We partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
The NBA playoffs, the draft, free agency, the offseason. Every moment of what the purple and gold on the biggest offseason in history. We have your dose of what's next for the Lakers. Thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. NBA season ends tomorrow night, right? If Halliburton's banged up?
I think it's going to.
Yeah.
I think it might have even if Halliburton was at full strength. But if he's really banged up, they're going to have such a difficult time generating the offense they need.
That they push this thing to 6 games, I think, is a testament to their season. They've had a great year.
Pacers are a good team.
They're a
good team. The Thunder are just
They nearly won the in-season tournament.
Milwaukee won. I know that because I heard Doc Rivers on Bill Simmons' podcast this morning. He was kind of teasing him about that. That thing, remember the first year, like, hey, this is a lot better than we thought. You know why? Because the Lakers were in it. And we pay attention to the Lakers. And the Lakers are inherently interesting. And then you had another star player in Giannis, like, oh, yeah. Who cares?
We're not the audience. Like, the way to judge this is in like 10 to 15 years. If it becomes something that is part of NBA culture, then it worked. But, like, they're not worried about hooking us. They don't care if they get us.
Okay.
They care about getting people our kids' age or even younger. Like, it's something that they get caught up in, becomes something they look forward to. It has, though, accomplished one thing, whether you like the IST or not, whether you care about the NBA Cup or not, it does keep the players more engaged in the regular season because those games matter, like for your record. It's not even just about winning that tournament. They're games that count. So it's like you can't just blow it off.
Do you get to count it as part of rings culture if you get an in-season tournament title? Does that count? Because
they hang a banner.
They did hang a banner. Here's LeBron. This was on his podcast, right?
Yeah, Mind the Game.
Mind the Game podcast. Here's LeBron James talking about ring culture and what it's done to the discourse around basketball.
It's funny. I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and you tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time. Or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things, I don't know. I don't know. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, LeBron.
Barry Bonds never won a World Series. And you can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat. I mean, Jerry West, I think, went to like 9 straight NBA finals.
Right.
And was only able to win 1. And he's the logo of our league.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and tell me that, okay, well, because he only won 1, the guy can't be in the same room with the guy who won 2 or 3 or 4. Like, why not? This guy, he's our logo.
It is very true. Like, if Jerry West had existed in modern NBA, that guy would never, if a logo athlete silhouette had not been chosen, I can promise you it would not have been Jerry West.
You're probably right about that. Couple of things. Number one, Peyton Manning won 2 rings, but that's just a side note. I was afraid he's going to say he had none.
Well, he was piggybacking in Denver.
I get it, but he got it. Anyway, I agree almost entirely with what he's saying. I think that the reason this has become the jump-off point in the NBA specifically, and it's less of an argument in things like football and baseball, is that in basketball, if you have the best guy, you have a chance in a way that having the best guy does not impact it in the NFL or Major League Baseball. So I think that's why it's more the ring culture thing is there. But he's right. Like the idea of, well, how many rings? Guys, if that's all it is, leave me out of it. I don't want to participate. Is it a part of when we're evaluating things and discussing things and showing up in big moments? Of course it is. And it's an incredible accomplishment that if you 2 is more impressive than 1, 3 is more impressive than 2, especially if you are the engine on these teams or a big part of it. But it is not the trump card that everybody thinks that it is.
It shouldn't be the starting point. It might be the hair splitting thing. It might be the level of distinction. But it should not be the beginning point of talking about greatness, because winning championships, I don't care how great you are, it's not entirely within your control. And we know this because everybody props up Jordan as the gold standard. And fine, whatever, I'm not looking to debate it. Michael Jordan went a long time being known as the guy who couldn't win it all. Mm-hmm. You can't win it all with Michael Jordan until he became the gold standard, until he became 6-0 in the finals. And obviously 6-0 is great, but you start getting penalized if you've been to more finals. Because once you start going frequently, there's only so many you're going to win.
Magic went 5-4.
Right.
Okay? And Magic is one of the greatest players in the history of the league. And it's not because of the 5. It's because of the way he played. It's because of the way his teams performed. It's because of the way he elevated his teammates. It's all of these things. It's the style in which he played. It's the flair that he brought to the game. It's all of it. It's just not how many of these things did you win? It's not, MVPs are important, titles are important, but to just boil it down to the basketball reference page or the baseball reference page and how many of this one thing did you collect, that's not the whole story. And it sucks. It deeply sucks that we have gotten to where, well, how many did I don't need to talk to you about this. If that's how you look at these things, and you can't, great example of this, he mentioned some good ones. He mentioned Barry Bonds being the greatest guy with the bat in his hand. He might be right. I'm not pushing back on that. You know who one of the greatest players I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes? Never played in the World Series. Never really got close, quite frankly. He's on the list. Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
You want to tell me that guy's anything other than one of the best baseball players you've ever seen in your entire life? There wasn't a single thing he couldn't do. He played his guts out. He played every single night. He hit home runs. He hit for an average. He stole bases. He robbed home runs. He threw. He did everything. How many rings did he get? Get out of here. Yeah. It's so dumb.
And look, I recognize with LeBron there's some degree of self-interest in this because
LeBron,
right? Because he is one of the guys that people use the ring count if they want to automatically say he's not Jordan, or his finals record against him if he's automatically not Jordan. But like when you start looking at LeBron's track record in the finals, there is only one finals where LeBron's team was favored and LeBron didn't play well. That was 2011 against Dallas. Like, I don't even hold 2007 against LeBron. That was the year he took the
bad
Cavs.
Team he took to the finals.
They were only in the finals because of LeBron. So you are essentially at that point penalizing LeBron for being able to carry a team into the finals that had otherwise no business being in there. All those finals against the Warriors, LeBron's team wasn't favored. No. Nor should they have been. It was basically LeBron versus the Warriors. Like, 10 trips to the finals. That is amazing.
Of course it is.
And like, what I also think is kind of the dirty little secret about a lot of this is a big purveyor, at least in NBA media, NBA culture, of Jordan as the gold standard. It's always got to be Jordan. And again, Jordan is an obviously fine choice for this.
How many rings did he have?
But it's guys like Barkley and that era that constantly will make it so automatically Kobe can never be Jordan. LeBron can never be Jordan. Like, everything comes back to, well, he's not Michael Jordan. You know what? You want to know why, in part, they want to make sure nobody's ever Jordan? Because then that justifies why they could never beat Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, they could never take down this guy who is clearly greater than everybody. It makes it a lot easier to it makes it more palatable, makes it easier to, like, quantify their own greatness or,
to explain some of their holes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, of course we didn't win because it's this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the dirty little secret of a lot of this.
I want to go back to something you said a second ago about Mike Trout. We were having this conversation over the weekend. And this kind of goes contrary to what I was just saying, but I'm smart enough, I believe, to hold two differing thoughts in my head at the same time. There does become a point where I'm not blaming you, but I am looking at you slightly differently for allowing nothing to happen around you. And Trout specifically, that Mike Trout, for a 10-year window, show me 10 better years, and maybe you can, but think you'd be hard pressed. There are not going to be many. Won the MVP multiple times. I think he finished in the top 10 9 years in a row and in the top 5 in 7 of those years. I mean, it's just an incredible run. But he hasn't played a meaningful game since his rookie season. Not one. Not one. And I understand the Angels came in and offered him nearly $500 million. I think it was $440 something. Okay, you say yes to that. I'm not criticizing him for that. But that's a long time ago. Baseball, the money's guaranteed. You're getting your money. You've been loyal to your team. You've sat around, and sat around's the wrong term. You've been loyal to your team and allowed them the time to build a winner around you, and they have demonstrated very clearly that they were incapable of doing that. You're now on the other side of your greatness. He's still very good, but he's no longer the MVP that he was a while ago. Do you look at him differently for just sitting there and not saying, guys, it's time for instance, Matthew Stafford went to the Lions after 10 years and said, hey, listen, I love you guys. I need to go win. I've given you 10 years. It hasn't happened. Can I go somewhere else and give this a shot?
Well, in the case of Trout, no, but I've explained to you before my theory. I think he is suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. Like, I honestly think Mike Trout has reached this place where he loves his captors and therefore will not leave them.
Okay.
Like, and Ohtani, thankfully for him and for Dodger fans, he wasn't there long enough for that to settle in. Like, Ohtani, if he was running the risk, if it lasted a little bit longer, maybe he falls into the same thing with Trout. But that's the only way I can explain this with Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Is he's just grown to love his jailers.
That's the best explanation, I guess, because I look at him like, that you just kind of seem okay with this makes me think differently of you.
Well, but the reason I don't think he's okay with it is he clearly cares. Like, he has, I mean, like, in terms of his own excellence.
His performance has been terrific, but what is the evidence? He's not outspoken. You could argue, well, he's loyal to the team. He's been there a long time, and they've demonstrated unequivocally, we don't know how to do this. We do not know how to surround you with a winning team. We've given it a dozen years. We don't know how to do this. I need to go somewhere else.
Stockholm Syndrome.
I guess. All right, Dodgers Padres game 3 tonight. Who gets plunked, and does Emmett Sheehan need to do it? That's coming up next. It's Trav, and he's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where they want you to believe vapes are calming and pretend nicotine won't lead to increased anxiety and depression. Big Tobacco's Fantasyland is a nightmare for us all.
At the Summer Bash. Celebrate the start of summer with a dazzling fireworks display, the 27th at 9 p.m.
Morongo, good times.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood, carpet, and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Ignite your afternoons at Waba Grill's $5 happy hour with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium one beverage drink. Like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. Only at Waba Grill.
Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday Night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. Brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region, 13 years in a row in California once again.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Okay, it's time for pack number 2, Pasadena Front Row Card Show, coming up June 21 through 22. This is the Topps Series 1 from the World Tour Tokyo Series. So
and have the crack on the mic.
I don't know if this is only Dodgers and Cubs, but on the wrapper, it's only Dodgers and Cubs. So we will see. No, it's not, because the first player is an Angel.
Are there some bad news Bears in there?
Well,
Tokyo?
We'll see what it is. Oh! Michael McGreevy. Okay? Cardinals pitcher, Gaucho. There we go. Great pack. Winning pack. Can't go anything wrong there. Congrats to UCSB legend Michael McGreevy, Paul Blackburn, Thairo Estrada.
No clue.
I was going to say, that's weird. Tyler Phillips for the Phillies. Greg Jones. Why is this the Tokyo Series? Where are my Tokyo guys? Jordan Beck. Jackson Merrill. That's a good one. That's a good one to keep. Hurston Waldrop. He should be like on Wall Street. Right? Thurston Waldrop III.
He went to a
He's
prep
a bully
school.
in the 80s movies.
Yeah, he pitches for the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Jake Cave. Okay, sure. Michael King. Paul Goldschmidt. Not bad. Oh, Kenta Maeda.
Wow.
Juan Soda.
Kenta Maeda.
Juan Soto or Soda?
Did I say Soda? Soto.
Yeah.
Juan
Okay.
Soto.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's not one player from the Tokyo Series.
What the heck?
Keep the wrapper.
Yeah, did I read that wrong? No? All right. Where's my Shota Imanaga? Where's my Shohei Ohtani?
Turner.
I got a McGreevy. It's all good. Yeah, Turner. Give me something. Give me something. All right. Do you know a high school senior who's a leader, scholar, or athlete? Nominate them for the ESPN LA All-Star Student, presented by Rotolo Chevrolet. 5 winners, $500 scholarships to each of them. VIP treatment at the All-Star Friday Night event, and you can nominate your All-Star student today at ESPNLA.com. It could be your own kid, your grandson, your niece, your nephew, the neighbor who takes in your trash cans when you go on vacation that's a good kid. Whatever you want to do, nominate them right now, ESPNLA.com. Thanks to Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region in California, 13 years in a row. Come see what all the fun is about. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. Got chippy last night in the Dodger game. Umpires warned both teams. I believe that the Dodgers hit Fernando Tatis on purpose in retaliation, not for hitting Andy Pages the night before, but for their reaction to Pages' reaction to getting hit.
Basically calling Pages a scrub.
Yes. They called Pages, the manager of the Padres, Mike Schilt, basically said, "Who the hell do you think you are?" And Andy Pages responded by hitting 2 home runs.
I was going to say,
hits.
the irony of this is that Pages is having an all-star caliber season.
He is.
Schilt ought to know who he is.
He does now.
But even before, you should. I know you were taking a dig at him, but you really should know who the guy is.
And the dig that you're talking about is why I think they hit Tatis. And so the Padres, if we're just looking at this objectively and not as a Dodger fan like I am, it's no, you don't get to hit him. That's not how this goes. We're going to hit one of yours. And so they selected Shohei Ohtani, whose offense in this entire process is being the Dodgers' best player. If Tatis is the Padres' best player, and him or Machado probably, then Ohtani is the next guy. That's when the warnings came out. Dave Roberts gets ejected because he wants an explanation for the warnings, et cetera, et cetera. Later in the game, Iglesias gets hit in the hand. I do not think that one was intentional because there was no reason to do it at that point.
And it was such a slow pitch on top of it.
It was not that the Padres got animated again, but the reasoning for their animation was, what the hell's the warning about if you're not going to do it? And the umpires correctly said, because that's not what that was.
Right. The warning is knock off the intentional stuff, not you can't throw inside for the rest of this game.
Right. So it's kind of sitting there with the Padres, your move. What do you think their move is today?
I think they're going to settle down a bit because they could use a game in this series.
Okay, good point.
Like they want to try, I'm guessing, to at least split the series, and this is their last opportunity to make it happen. If the Dodgers win, by definition, they're just trying to avoid a sweep at that point.
Right.
And the Padres do need wins. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses that are the Dodgers.
They're 5 back.
Right. So I am guessing they look to actually win. I was thinking about this,
What if the game gets lopsided? What if it's the 4th inning, and it doesn't matter who's ahead at this point? What if it's 7-1? It's 4th inning.
If it's 7-1 Padres, I don't think they're going to do anything because at that point, scoreboard.
Okay.
If it's 7-1 Dodgers, watch your 6 when you're up at bat. That's what I will say. Like, it could be coming for you.
I would not be surprised. Couple of things here. I do not think it's going to be Emmett Sheehan. Emmett Sheehan is making his season debut. He's another one of those Dodger farmhand pitchers that big expectations. Pitched really well when he pitched for the Dodgers a couple of years ago, but get in line, arm surgery. He's finally working his way back. I don't think you're going to task him with you need to do this. And again, it's the Padres' move, but I don't think it's going to be him. I do think the Padres and the Dodgers have feelings for one another that extend beyond the, hey, I'd like to win today's game. They're trying to establish dominance. They're trying to establish upper hand. There's heat between these two teams. It's great. It makes regular season baseball interesting. I think you're probably right that the temperature calms down a little bit, but here's the other thing that could happen. A pitch could just get away from somebody, and then the next thing you know, it's misinterpreted, and now we're DEFCON. Did we ever establish which is the higher one, 1 or 5? Which one's the more dangerous one?
I believe 1.
DEFCON 1 is the most dangerous. It could get to there very quickly. If Mookie Betts gets hit with a pitch, look out.
And the irony is this all began with Pages, which I actually don't think was. Thinking about this yesterday when Tatis got. Like, obviously that, you got to retaliate and you end up hitting Ohtani because that's the Dodgers' big dog. But given everything that's been reported about the issues that Tatis has had in his own clubhouse and players being annoyed with him, and I have to imagine some of these guys find Machado just as annoying as the rest of us do. There had to have been some guys on that field seeing Tatis get hit and going, you know what, this is perfect. Because now we get to go at a Dodger and Tatis got hit. Because I've wanted to do this for like several seasons.
I wanted to take him out myself.
I have wanted to throw at Tatis, but I can't do this. Kind of glad he's the one that got hit. Now they want it to escalate to a point where Machado gets hit and then everyone gets it out of their system.
If Machado even gets something uncomfortably inside, we could have something. And I kind of want to have some. My only fear is that this spirals to the point where nobody can control it anymore, and you're having one of the best players on either of these two teams miss a bunch of
It's
time.
like when Hanley Ramirez had his ribs broken.
Right. And it changed things dramatically. And Shohei, they hit him in the correct. If there is such a thing as hitting a guy the right way, the Padres hit him in the fleshy part of the leg, as Bobby Bacala said.
Yes.
They did that, but who knows? Who knows what that leg looks like this morning? Who knows? He comes. Okay, here you go.
It hurt.
Of course it hurt. It's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball to his leg. He comes in. He's putting on his pants. He's getting ready, and Clayton Kershaw sees that on his leg and a big, ugly bruise, and walks over to somebody in the Dodger bullpen and looks at it, looks at him, looks at it, looks at him, looks at it, looks at him, and goes, All right, have a good game. Something's going to happen.
It was the truest, by the way, the truest definition of Ohtani catching strays.
Yeah.
Because he had nothing to do with that at all.
So when it hits him, I went, oh my God. Because he let out a little scream. Like he let out a little, kind of situation. And Ohtani's like really chill. Like he'll pimp a home run every once in a while in the best possible way, but he's not antagonistic at all.
Again, he had nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with this, but I kind of was like, ooh, this could make this even spicier. It feels like we're on a low simmer right now, and all you got to do is turn that thing all the way up to high, and something bad.
It's such an a-hole mentality by all of us because these guys are feeling pain for our entertainment.
Well, what's funny, Andy, is that this used to be kind of normal in baseball.
I know.
And
it was.
Baseball, I think, has done more or less a pretty good job of getting rid of old school baloney like this, but you don't get to hit Ohtani. You just don't. Like DeMarco is sit there to, you know what I'd do? I'd throw him. I said, well, good. They're going to murder Machado if they do that. Like if you even come close to him, your guy's going, what's the untouchable? You send one of mine to the hospital. I'm sending one of yours to the morgue. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the mentality when it comes to certain guys. Now, it's a reason nobody throws at Judge. There's a reason nobody throws at Ohtani because this is, you started the war. We're going to finish it. But I do feel like we're at least finding our stuff right now.
Okay, I was saying, watch your back, particularly if you're like Freeman or Smith. Like the guys, Smith, especially like I'd say Smith, Muncy, you're guys who really matter, but you're not quite at we're starting the war.
We're going to hit Teo. You're going to get Cronenworth.
Right.
Like, this is what we're going to do?
Right. It's not quite, okay, we've reached the point of no return. It's a hostile point, like, simmering tensions.
Yeah.
But like yesterday, I think the Tatis, Ohtani just became the cost of doing business. Like you hit Tatis. We can even acknowledge that may not have been intentional, but we have to save face by doing that. It could be reset to zero. We'll see.
I know who won't do it. Tyler Glasnow, because you have to be in the game to do it. I got some thoughts. It's coming up next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
30 years ago, Wu-Tang Clan changed hip-hop forever. Now, it's time for the final chamber. Live in Los Angeles, Wu-Tang Clan, together, live on stage, the beginning of their final tour. Live this Sunday at Crypto.com Arena with Run the Jewels. Get tickets now at WuTangClan.com. Wu-Tang Forever, the final chamber. Produced by AEG Presents.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason in Ireland is next at noon after Travis and DeMarco.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really rough team. I have no idea how Cappy ended up with a team. And by the way, I like every person individually on his team. They just aren't good at softball.
Do you not like somebody individually on your team?
Yeah, there's one person there.
The OGs of LA Sports Talk.
Mason in Ireland on 710.
4th of July savings start now at Cardin Alleyway Hyundai. Lease a brand new Hyundai Elantra SCL Sport for just $219 a month for 36 months with only $34.99 due at signing. Drive with confidence backed by America's best warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles, and Hyundai's exclusive owner assurance program. Visit us off the 91 freeway or schedule your test drive now at CardinAlleyWayHyundai.com. And SU 944151, $34.99 due at signing plus tax, license, $85 doc fee and registration. No security deposit, 10,000 miles per year. Offer expires 7/7/2025.
The Peace Lily is so last year.
Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
But
I think there's a but. I think there's a but, but not a big but. It's a little narrow but.
The Travis and DeMarco Show rolls on
LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
Just because, I don't know, I saw it caught my eye.
Oh, okay.
Why?
So
You watched
I've been
it last
meaning
night?
to tell you this all morning.
Read your mind?
Kind of. Guess what I'm doing tonight?
Watching Top Gun Maverick again?
No.
Watching Top Gun?
Yes. In a theater.
Wow, okay.
Nice.
So there's that movie theater near our house that plays old movies.
We'll replay things from the 90s, 80s, 70s.
So tonight is a screening of Top Gun that Susan and I and our son Michael were going to go watch Top Gun in a theater for the first time since 1986 or whenever it came out.
Remember to wear layers because last time you were very cold.
And a week from tonight, guess what I'm doing?
F1.
No. That's new. I would never.
Sinners.
No. Top Gun Maverick.
So the reason why I'm that they're doing Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick is because F1 is from the same director. Of Top Gun Maverick. You're gonna like F1.
I'm
if
sure
you
I
go
will.
see F1, you're gonna like it.
When
but
I get
I'm not
around
gonna
to
tell
seeing
you.
it in the year 2037, I'm sure I will be like, that was really good.
And then you'll go see F1 Maverick afterwards.
If Jennifer Connelly is in F1 Maverick, yes.
Who's the girl in F1? It's she was in the Banshees of Inisherin. She's really pretty. She'd be in your wheelhouse.
Carrie something. I believe.
Not Carrie Coon because that's what I'm thinking of, but it's Carrie. She's Irish.
Yeah. She was also
Carrie Condon.
Yeah, Carrie Condon. She was also on Better Call Saul.
And she spells Carrie with a K.
Yeah.
Like the Irish
What
way.
role did she have in Better Call Saul?
She was Mike's daughter-in-law.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. F1 may be on the list.
Yeah.
It looks good.
What's going to be fun, though, Michael, I'm assuming, has never seen Top Gun on a big screen.
Not on
he's
a big
too
screen.
young.
Yeah, not on a big screen.
We did this with my daughter recently. We took her to
Clueless
at the Academy. She loves the movie, but because she's 14, she's obviously never seen it on a big screen. Totally different experience. Like I took her to Greece at the New Beverly, which she's seen 1 billion times, but again, never on a big screen with a full audience. It's a lot of fun.
So Travis, I thought the wildest recesses of my mind when you're talking about like a re-airing of a movie is because I'm going to go see this weekend. Brokeback Mountain's 20-year anniversary is this weekend. I was like,
20 years?
Wow, is Travis going to go see Brokeback Mountain?
I don't think I've ever seen it. I know of it. I know what it is.
It's a good movie.
Heath Ledger
Fantastic
and
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Michelle Williams. Like I know
Anne Hathaway.
of it. Yeah, Anne Hathaway too. Yeah, but I don't.
And it's set in Wyoming, but it takes place like it's filmed in Banff in Canada. And if anybody is listening and hasn't seen Brokeback Mountain, but you've heard whatever about it, go watch it this weekend. It's a movie that will change. I don't know. It changed my brain chemistry a little bit.
It's really good. It's a really good movie.
Are there F-15s in it?
There are
cowboys.
There are cowboys
and horses.
Yeah, I like cowboy movies. I'm here for a good western.
I don't know how to put you.
Is Clint Eastwood in it?
Clint Eastwood is not.
All right.
We could have had a good life.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. I'm going to a movie that's a win in and of itself. That's
positive. Are you gonna You don't do popcorn.
No.
What do you consume?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Do they sell wine?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you gonna consume anything?
I might have some wine. That doesn't sound so bad.
Get a little toasty for Top Gun.
Yeah, I do need to bring my puffer jacket, even though it's June.
Get ready for that volleyball scene.
There's a lot going on there. When Slider flexes at me, it makes me feel a certain way.
Be careful though with the wine at that time of night. For you, a person not used to being in a movie theater, you could easily fall asleep.
Okay, so here's a little known fact about me. I cannot sleep unless I'm lying down.
Oh.
If you put me in a chair, you could give me cough medicine and everything else in the world that would typically make somebody sleepy. Never happen to me. So the wine is a safe bet. ESPN LA 710 and Central Fun Zone present the T-Ball team, part of ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday night. Coming up July 11th, West Coast Sports. If to 12, they get to swing big and be a part of the All-Star action. You can right now at ESPNLA.com. Just click on the tee-off card. You'll find sign up for your designated group. Great time. Children's Dental Fun Zone, sparkling smiles, happy kids. So I was watching Dodgers and Pods last night, and Xander Bogaerts, came up. And not that this is breaking news, but it would just, I don't know why it landed the way it did. It landed like, wait, what an awful signing that was. Just, even at the time, eyebrows went up like, you're giving him how much for how long? I know he's a good player, but he's not a transcendent player. And like we've talked about just segments ago, baseball is not about getting one guy, it's about building a really good team. And they seem to, and his been average at best, and frequently not average. And I saw, one of the things that makes the Dodgers is that they just don't like that moment go, hold on. It was Mark DeRosa from MLD was saying that the trade that Ryan Pepe is having a really good season for the Rays has now not just again for the Dodgers pitcher. He's the 5
follow baseball the way I follow the super close, NFL super closely, and like the American in particular, none of my Tyler Glasnow, like the guy that's never available, 5 years, 100, like that is a very un-Dodgery, very un-Andrew Freeman contract. That
don't need to. You need go. And I think be the perfect question of why we all went, not following the American. He's really good. But you were not. He's just never. He set a career high in his last Dodgers, and it barely lasted half the season. It's just it's a weird deal. And his questioned his ability, but seeing Bogaerts go the Dodgers, and I'm like, no, Glasnow. And look, later time like he used to be fun. Like even Tanner Scott, when they gave him all that money and he got off to the bumpy start, like, oh boy, but he's settled in. He's been terrific for about a month or so now, and he's got a track record of pitching and pitching well for the most part. Glasnow's track record is exactly what they've gotten.
Well, Emily, you said something interesting for the show started. We were just topics about Andrew Freeman in the background in being familiar with Glasnow. If that could be a bit of a weakness,
blind spot,
like a blind spot for Freeman in evaluating this.
Because this Glasnow, who he had, he also had Blake Snell for a period of time, and that raised him. And those are two acquisitions that raised a little bit of a question mark, a little less, but maybe it's something where he's like, I know the best of this person. I think that I can get it out of him, and not seeing that there's been years in between that there and now.
There's still enough time for it not to be a bad deal because it's a 5-year deal and we're halfway through year 2. So there's 3.5 years left of this. So it could turn out to be okay, but not so far.
I mean,
it's been exactly what the worst case scenario has played out.
If the timing happens to line up, even in one season, and I mean truly one season, where the Dodgers win the World Series, and I was a part of it,
worth
like I think the Dodgers think that hard. Anybody who plays a role in your team, like no matter even tired.
I don't know if anybody that's
Dodgers, or how much do you worry? Because like this isn't the team, and if this if this ends up the team, they have more of a puncher's chance than you would figure given who they expected to have. But you can't expect this team to win a World Series anyway.
You know what the pitching is right now? It's almost exactly what they had last year going into the postseason. We had a pretty good bullpen, but you've asked a lot out of them. You've got 1.5 starters that you feel pretty good about, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Like Kasparius might even be like the Gavin Stone this year.
Yamamoto's Yamamoto. You kind of sort of have Kershaw in the Buehler role.
I was just thinking he becomes the wild card.
Well, so was Walker Buehler. Remember, Walker Buehler was terrible last year. And to the point where they sent him away for half the year. He came back, and the only reason they pitched him is because they had no other choice. Yeah. And he kind of found it at exactly the right time. Jack Flaherty was either really good or terrible. There was no middle ground.
And it was acquired throughout the season.
Acquired in the middle of the year. So their pitching actually kind of tracks the way it did a year ago, because you'll get this guy back, and they just kept dropping them like flies, exactly like this year.
Well, then World Series confirmed, man. What are we all worried about?
Yeah, just game 2 starter is Trevino opener in game 2 against the
why not
the Red Sox. It's crazy. Hot and Cold is coming up next. It's Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Coming up today at 3 p.m.
But I'm not really the conspiracy theorist per se.
Oh, no. Tu no. No.
And by the way, I take great offense to what you just said. How? You don't refer to me as something more respectful than tu? Ustedes? Por favor?
You want to be the old man?
See.
Wait,
okay.
You're going to so you want him to like formally address you?
I would like formality. I mean, tu is just very,
tu is like again, it's informal. I thought Beto was capable of being informal
I thought it was respectful. I thought it was a lack of respect.
Usted is to like someone you're strangers with.
It's an older gentleman. Mr. Kaplan shows up from Del Boca Vista. He's usted.
Yeah. But you're Cappy. Yeah, you're Cappy. You should be too.
Okay.
Sedano and Cap on 710. The fun way to drive home.
Sedano and Cap.
The biggest event of the summer is coming to Honda Center. Saturday, June 28th. Most Valuable Promotions presents global boxing star Jake Paul on his path to becoming world champion. Taking on Mexico's former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. In the co-main event, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez defends his world titles against Cuba's knockout artist, Yuniel Dorticos. Former boxing and UFC champ Holly Holm returns live from the Honda Center on Saturday, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood, carpet, and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
The High Desert Beer and Wine Festival, Saturday, June 21st at the Palmdale Amphitheater. This Ticket Thursday on ESPN LA. We're hooking up listeners with 3 pairs of tickets to the tastiest party of the summer. Craft beers, fine wines, food trucks, and live performances from Eve 6.
Faith in nothing, I wanna put my
DJ A1, and more. Tune in Thursday for your cue to call and win. The High Desert Beer and Wine Festival, June 21st, Palmdale Amphitheater. Don't miss it.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August, and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
As you know, we've welcomed a new partner here at 710 ESPN, NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week.
Cause you're hot and you're cold.
Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
Aloha. Buenos dias.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ooh, and I'm looking at College Baseball World Series right now. Coastal Carolina is putting it to Louisville. They're apparently 36-2 when they score first, and they just went up 5-0.
Random
bottom
fact
of the first.
about Coastal Carolina: they have never lost a College World Series game. They've been twice, and they ran the table the first year they went, and they're running the table right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Team of Destiny, the Chanticleers.
Yes.
The Teal Chanticleers. Anyway, I got two hots, okay? One for each of you. First one is the trailer for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah!
Season 17 came out today. It premieres on July 9th, I believe. And just a little taste of what you see in the trailer is Frank, played by Dan DeVito, is going to be the Golden Bachelor. And I cannot wait for that episode. It's going to be so good. Additionally, they're going to do their Abbott Elementary crossover. So they did the Abbott side, and it's more of an Abbott-centered. The comedy is more of Abbott Elementary, and then Quinta Brunson says, It's Always Sunny does their thing, so it's going to be a lot less PC, a lot more out there for the It's Always Sunny side. I'm so excited.
I love that show so much.
And they took like 3 years off. So the last season 16, was like 2021, I believe.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Sonny, I don't watch it, but people whose opinion I respect, Andy, Emily, I know you guys really like it, so I'm sure it's great. But I do kind of like when a show goes away for a while because it makes you miss it a little bit more. It's not like you just have to wait around for another season to drop her. It's that there's a gap, kind of heightens the expectation.
And they're great creators. They know when they have a story to tell. They know when they have something to say, and they kind of wait for something to say. So I'm really excited for that, pumped for that. What's hot for Travis is Noah Lyles. So Noah Lyles, the sprinter for Team USA in the Olympics, he has been talking up that he wants to race Tyreek Hill in some sort of version of a race, either 60 meters, 50 meters.
50 meters, yeah.
Okay, so he apparently has now backed out due to personal reasons.
It sucks because I don't know what the personal reasons are. I don't know if they're legit. I don't know if he's ducking Tyreek Hill. I have no idea.
Tyreek Hill has said that he's ducking Tyreek Hill.
I'm sure that's what Tyreek Hill would say, and that's why this is interesting to me because one of two things happens, right? That you kind of finally will get an understanding of how fast those sprinters actually are, because when you watch the Olympics, and Noah Lyles, I believe, is the defending gold medalist, they're all so fast that nobody really looks fast because they're all kind of bunched together. Like when Bolt was doing it, he was kind of blowing everyone away, so you got a little bit of sense of it. But we can kind of conceptualize how fast Tyreek Hill is because you just see him pull away from everybody in the NFL. What if Noah Lyles dusted him in a race? And then you kind of get a sense of what that is. And conversely, what if he didn't? What if Hill actually beat him, or it was neck and neck? Now all of a sudden the level of athlete in the NFL gets elevated. I understand the risks involved, but I would love to see this. I think it would be fascinating.
Well, you also get more of an idea of the speed when it's just two of them.
Sure.
Like when it's really just those two pitted against each other, like you said, I hope that with Lyles, whatever the personal reason, assuming that's really what it is, not serious, all that stuff. But it is disappointing. It'd be fun to watch.
I think we need more specials. I think we need more because I think of like the Billie Jean King, and what's his face,
Bobby Joe Riggs,
the Battle of the Sexes. I want that.
I want more real ones, like you said, because Tyreek Hill was a high school sprinter. I don't know if he sprinted in college, but he's at least in the ballpark. We know what Lyles is. I don't need stunts where you're taking some old man and putting him in, but
I want fake ones.
Then you can watch. I want real, like if you could have some crossover where it would actually be competitive. Maybe one guy's got a smaller advantage over the other, but I'm here for it. I love that
want
stuff.
Battle of the Sexes. I want Battle of the Network Stars, but I want Battle of the Streamers. So I want the streamers to go against each other, like Apple TV Plus and Netflix and Hulu, etc. I want them all to fight against each other. I want to see more of Michael Phelps versus Shark, which I was really dialed into when it came out in 2018.
Have like Sarandos and Bezos race each other. That would be fun.
I want to
you
see
mentioned
their
like the
ACLs
streamers
explode.
Yes.
Yeah, but no,
Netflix
I want
versus Amazon.
I want to see like the Pit versus Severance. I want that.
They had what you're describing is the Battle of the Network Stars.
Exactly. You've mentioned it several times.
When Gabe Kaplan is going up against Robert Conrad in a swim, that's amazing. Like you're just never going to get anything better than that.
Give us camp. That's all I want. Okay, so what's cold? E-bikes. Okay, stay with me on this. So I was in Manhattan Beach yesterday, and I don't go there super often, but I was meeting up with a friend, and
saw your tweet.
Yeah, I did, because I nearly witnessed a kid getting his head hit off by a car because he did not know how to drive his e-bike, okay? One, e-bikes are an epidemic, especially for these youth, okay? I know I sound like a Karen, and sorry. They need to understand the rules of the road before they are driving a motorized vehicle, which is what the e-bikes are. So I understand, Travis, you are toying with maybe getting an e-bike, but you know the rules of the road.
Yeah.
If you have your kid under the age of driving, you should make sure that they know how to signal, how to drive on what side of the road to not get injured. Because not only did that one kid almost get hit by a car, I saw another kid almost get hit by a car.
This is just an extension, to be honest.
But they're moving faster than a bike.
Right, but it's
a lot faster.
Exactly.
Oh, no. You're right. It's much different because they're moving faster. But what I was going to say is it's an extension of the same cyclist culture, which is they're all a-holes who think that the road belongs to them and everything revolves around them because, I'm being eco-friendly and I'm riding my bike and I'm not going easy in a car. Shut up.
It reminds me of that Portlandia sketch where he is Fred Armisen's like driving the bike in Portland. But I do think just for your safety of these young kids, wear a helmet. And you have to know the rules of the road. I don't care if Jimmy is going from his beach volleyball practice to his other home in a very nice home in Manhattan Beach. He needs to know what side of the road he needs to be on.
It's funny you say this. So this is both Karen-y, e-bike related, and generation gap related, and I was smacking between the two of these things. I was on one of my walks the other day, and the kids on the e-bikes were, like you were saying, they're on the wrong side of the road, on the sidewalk, as a matter of fact, going really fast, and there was a older woman, if I had to guess, she was probably in her 70s, who was attempting to come into traffic and she wasn't looking, and why would she be looking? This isn't where the traffic is coming from. They're coming from the totally the wrong direction, and she nearly clips him. And the kid kind of swerves and stops, and she rolls down her window and starts yelling at him, like, you owe me an apology, and she's doing the thing. And she was right, but I'm sure she was scared and all these other things. And then these kids, because they were 13 or 14, were enormous a-holes to her. And were saying stuff that they should not have said, and it made her even more angry. And I'm like, lady, you got to understand, you just made their day that they got a reaction out of you. They're 13; they don't know any better.
And that lady was Emily Hebel.
It was. But I'm like, I wanted to break their necks for A, nearly causing an accident, and B, being disrespectful like that. It's incredibly rude. And at the same time, like, find a 13-year-old boy who isn't. Right. And especially one on an e-bike that's doing stupid stuff.
And I know that me saying this is going to be like, okay, wouldn't you love to parent a 13-year-old? And also, like, you might tell them the rules of the road. You might tell them to wear a helmet, and they're not going to listen to you because they're dumb kids. But just
get in knife fights and drinking 14-year-olds in bars.
And at the end of the day, it's going to be until that kid gets hit by a car, might not change.
Look, the cyclists all these people on the birds and the Lime scooters and all that, like all of them, you are all menaces. You are all in everybody's way. You're not nearly as cool as you think you look. And stop leaving your scooters in front of my house.
Yeah, that's stupid. I don't like that either.
Stop it.
And also,
quick question. Have you ridden an e-bike?
No.
They're awesome.
when they're driven
They're really
in the
fun.
correct spaces.
And keep factor in your equation. Who's telling you this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like fun.
I loved those bikes.
Now,
it was awesome.
I've never ridden an e-bike, and I've honestly paid very little attention to e-bikes. I consider them all part of the same family, and I hate them all.
Yeah.
How often on an e-bike, if at all, do you actually pedal?
You don't have to pedal at all if you don't want to.
Well, that sucks.
It's a motorcycle.
And
then get a motorcycle.
But you can't ride it in the bike lane.
And also, you can't get a motorcycle when you're 14, which, again, you shouldn't be.
You can't ride it on the boardwalk at the beach. You can't ride it down to the Ocean Institute in Dana Point. You can't do a lot of different things. It was, Andy, I've never had so much fun in my entire life. It was terrific.
That's a cheat, being on an e-bike.
So good.
But I understand, at like Manhattan Beach too, it's super hilly and it's really steep to get one place to the other. But again, I don't need Thrasher coming from water polo to run into my car.
I just want a one wheel. That's all I want.
Those are terrifying.
No,
those are even
look
worse.
Cool, dude.
They're
not
not cool.
With a wheel in the middle. That looks
I've
cool.
seen that.
They look stupid.
I see a guy every day I'm on my walk, right? I go pretty much every day, and this guy's out there pretty much every day. And I think he's a crazy person, literally, like, because he just goes back and forth. The same thing all day, every day. That thing goes, and he's pretty good on it.
He's probably a hedge fund manager.
Yeah, he's not.
I mean,
he's not.
None of these people.
If he is, that's not a very good hedge fund. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
None of these
those
people are
look
Red
stupid.
Panda.
No. Oh, Red Panda's the best.
She performed in the last game of the NBA Finals.
I could watch it every day and never get bored.
She's
of it.
amazing.
It's something else.
Amazing.
Who's Hot, Who's Cold is brought to you by NextGen, the official AC heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3NEXTGen or visit nextgenaironplumbing.com. The Dip is coming up next.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
That's Mason in Ireland.
Crazy. I was stupid and young and reckless. Stupid, young, and reckless. It's great to be that way
to me.
at some point, yeah.
Mason in Ireland. Weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
30 years ago, Wu-Tang Clan changed hip-hop forever. Now, it's time for the Final Chamber. Live in Los Angeles, Wu-Tang Clan, together, live on stage, the beginning of their final tour. Live this Sunday at Crypto.com Arena with Run the Jewels. Get tickets now at WuTangClan.com. Wu-Tang Forever, the Final Chamber. Produced by AEG Presents.
Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurant's protein bowls are here for a limited time. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love. Just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
Start with a couple of birthdays here. Let's start with Sir Paul McCartney, who turns 83 years old today. Wow. Founding member of Wings.
You idiot. He was the most talented member.
Are you a Beatles fan?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Emily, where are you on Paul McCartney?
Fine.
Yeah?
I appreciate his artistry. And Wings is Live and Let Die, right? Or was that Beatles?
No,
that's Wings.
That's what I thought too,
Yeah.
because I think it was a trivia question.
It's either Wings or it's solo Paul McCartney. I don't
Okay.
remember. It's definitely not the Beatles.
Right. Either way, I am neither a hater nor a lover. Just kind of middle.
Or any familiarity with Paul McCartney?
I saw him outside the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills. We were wrapping a movie. You know how they do those movie rounds or whatever?
Mhm.
So we had just finished. They were doing like a media thing.
Like a junket?
Yeah, so we're like leaving the Four Seasons. They gave us like a suite, whatever. So we did the whole thing there. So I'm leaving. I'm pulling my cart with tripods and the camera and all that equipment. And he's getting off the car. And people are like, "Oh, look, it's Paul McCartney." And then people just approach him, and I walk right by him, and I'm like, "Hey, Paul, how are you?" And he's like, "Oh, hello, no pictures." And that was it. You just run into him.
That's his deal. He will not take a picture with you, but he'll chat with you for a minute or two.
Which is equally as cool.
It's cooler.
Yeah.
I would argue that if you said, I met Paul McCartney once and I talked to him for 3 minutes, is better than.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's truly just pictures that never happens. Like, well, I know it happened.
Right.
I don't need to document
And if you don't believe me, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
you don't
what do I
believe me.
care? I got to meet the guy.
Yeah,
Sir Paul
he said no
McCartney.
pictures,
Sir
and I
Paul
said, "Let it be." Come on, that was a good one.
It is also Blake Shelton's 49th birthday today. He is not
He's
Paul
with
McCartney.
Christina Aguilera, or they're not together anymore. I know that he's the guy from
I know he's
The
on
Voice.
Yeah, The Voice.
So I think they were married / are still
I thought
married.
he had a different famous wife.
I think that was Outsy, and then now they met on The Voice. On The Voice.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Let me look this up.
he had another wife that was a musician.
Was Gwen Stefani his wife?
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry, I
Yeah.
confused the two. They're the same in my mind.
I mean, I know nothing about him.
Yeah.
Other than
It is Gwen Stefani, not
married to Gwen Stefani.
Christina Aguilera. But again, to me, blonde ladies singing.
according to Wikipedia, Miss Stefani was his third and current marriage.
Okay.
They are together.
that's what I'm thinking of.
He was first married to somebody named Kaynette Gurn.
Don't know
who
Not
that is.
Gurn.
And then he was married to Miranda Lambert.
That's the one I was thinking
for
of.
4 years.
Yes, other blonde country artist.
Okay. Don't know who that is.
Yeah, Miranda Lambert, I'm familiar with the name. Tom Cruise and Dolly Parton will be among the recipients of honorary Oscars to be given out this November. The Oscars are in November?
No. This is honorary Oscars. It's basically like, here you go, guys. For your,
like a lot of body of work.
addition to the, it's part of the Governor's Awards, and they have kind of like here's all the good stuff you've done for film generally, but you're not good enough to win an Oscar.
Or you just never
Tom
have.
Cruise.
There are people who Emily texted me this story, and I asked her, what's going to be on your sign when you're outside the building protesting Tom Cruise getting this?
And what was my response?
You had me at no. Which I was like, that's not bad.
Tom Cruise has been a movie star forever and ever. He's had some good roles.
I like
he's been
Tom
nominated for.
And he's a staunch supporter of movies.
Yes, and Dolly Parton is universally beloved. Everybody loves Dolly Parton.
She's been in movies. She also has contributed a lot of music in movies.
Yeah, I Will Always Love You was a Dolly Parton
and then
song.
9 to 5, iconically.
Why not have them be a part of the regular Oscars when you give these out? What's the harm?
There's no real harm. I think it's just like the Oscars are already such a long ceremony
Yes,
at all,
that's
so
what
they
it
don't really
is.
have any honorary awards. They should just cut out all the musicals.
Yes, they
musical
should.
acts and Oscars,
yes,
but whatever.
they should. Every year they look to cut out stuff, and then they just give.
They add 5 musical acts, and
or
who
they add
needs this?
skits or sketches or whatever. Like, it's easy to cut down the length of the Oscars. They just don't want to. It's Tom Cruise and Dolly Parton. Also, Debbie Allen is being
She's getting one
awarded
as
at
well?
the governor's, I guess, part of the governor's ball honorary Oscar, and either like an artistic set director or something like that. I don't remember the person's name, but clearly some thought went into it because it's 4 very different people.
And they give this away every year. They give the Governor's Award, honorary Oscars every year, but this is more part of the Academy as a whole, not the Academy Awards.
Congratulations to both of them. Today on 2014, June 18th, Clayton Kershaw threw his no-hitter. He struck out a career-high 15 guys. The only base runner was on. Hanley Ramirez had a throwing error. The Dodgers beat the Rockies 8-0. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I believe Miguel Rojas made an incredible rookie. Miguel Rojas at this point was recently called up, made a great play at third base to keep the no-hitter intact in the middle of that game.
That just speaks to how time flies and how long these guys can be up and you lose track of it. Because if you had asked me was Miguel Rojas playing with the Dodgers in 2018? I said, of course not.
2014.
2004? I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Of course he wasn't.
I'm fairly certain that he was a rookie that had just recently been, and that's why he's wearing number 72 this year, because, or maybe it's, 72. He went back to his call-up number when he was with the Dodgers back then.
I would have said absolutely not. There is not a prayer that Rojas has been in the league that long.
Kershaw has one no-hitter, and it just goes to show you how random and lucky no-hitters are rather than how good you need to be. Because Sandy Koufax had 4, Nolan Ryan had 7, and Justin Verlander, I believe, has 2 or 3. Like, these are great pitchers, and then you get these random guys that have them all the time. Then you have great, unbelievable pitchers like Greg Maddux and Pedro Martinez and these guys that never threw one.
And Doc Ellis had his on acid.
Doc Ellis, greatest story ever. He didn't know he was supposed to pitch that day. Do you know that story, Em?
Yeah, I've heard you tell it before.
Yeah, he was in L.A. They were playing the Dodgers. He was a member of the Pirates. They were scheduled to play the Padres the next day. He thought he was pitching the day after that. Went out, had a good time. They're like, "You pitched today," and he was still tripping. No hitter. I think it was a perfect game.
By the way, that's when you truly know Ellis had not expected to pitch, because taking acid, that's like a 48-hour commitment between the time that you're
and
feeling
then the hangover
drug,
from
the
it,
hangover, the come down. Like, you gotta really mark out like a couple days worth of like
comeback
acid time.
Yeah. Here we talked about the Dodgers. Here's a little positivity for the then California Angels in 1986. Former Dodger Don Sutton, as a member of the Angels, became the 19th MLB pitcher to win 300 games. Don Sutton is one of those guys that you have no idea how good he was for how long he was. Like Don Sutton, I know I'm a baseball reference dork, and I look at those pages all the time. Don Sutton pitched, first of all, forever. Don Sutton was pitching 200 innings a year in his mid-40s. Guys are breaking down in their teens and early 20s. Don Sutton was logging 200 innings a year at like 44 years old. That is bonkers. And 300 wins. We're never going to see that again. Literally, you will never see it happen again. Sutton was one of those incredible, just durable, good, forever guys.
Well, and also it speaks to when you talk about teams like the Dodgers or the Lakers, the Yankees, like they've been really successful in just this embarrassment of riches when it comes to the players that they've had. Any other team, like Don Sutton becomes your number 1, maybe number 2 of all time. On the Dodgers, you got to keep going down a list.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been so many. Like Chick used to say all the time, Elgin Baylor is the best player I've ever seen. Elgin Baylor gets kind of forgotten about with the Lakers, A, because he never won a ring, but B, because the Lakers have had so many great players.
Don Sutton was 41 years old in 1986, the year we're talking about, and threw 209 innings. And the next season, at 42 years old, he threw 197 innings. That's crazy.
That's a safety risk. Like, somebody should have stepped in and stopped that.
Don is no longer with us, R.I.P., but let me just, I'm not saying this. Don looked like he was in his 40s. Like, it wasn't like, you look at some guys now, they look in their 40s, they look like they're 25 years old. Don didn't. Don looked like he was in his 40s and was throwing 200 innings a year. Today, in 2000, Tiger Woods won the 100th U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. He won by 15 shots. He was the only guy that was under par, okay? The only guy under par, and he wasn't 1 under and everyone else was over. He was 12 under, and the next best guy was 3 over. That's how big of a gap there was between him and everyone else.
A question for you. So, yes, watching Tiger do his thing was incredibly, because of how dominant he was, but Sunday, is it more you're just watching to see how much you could beat them by?
It is such a good question, and it is still something that I haven't fully been able to explain. It wasn't whether or not he was going to win, because he was. It was how he was going to win, what great moments he was going to put on tape, how much he was going to dust the competition, which rung on the ladder of history he was going to climb to, that even on the days like this one, where he was demolishing everyone, it was must-see TV. And then he had many days, too, where he was in a fight, and he always came out on top.
I was just about to say, I think with Tiger, more than anything, even just like the dominance and the excellence, it was the inevitability.
Yeah.
And you're just watching if he was behind. Okay, how is he going to manufacture this comeback? If he's ahead, how is he going to keep everybody else off? But like either way, there just felt like this inevitability that I was trying to think about. Like, have you ever seen an athlete that felt like as inevitable as Tiger on Sunday?
One. Jordan.
Yeah, I guess Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Tom Brady?
Yeah, Brady's kind of,
Like if he got to the Super Bowl, it was almost inevitable.
Yeah, Brady's there too. Yeah, Brady's the good answer.
Jordan.
Wilt. Yeah, not Wilt, because Wilt, Wilt's individually, yes, but as far as like team success, but no, like they've entered that part of their history where the unlikely becomes expected. The extraordinary is expected, and they delivered over and over and over.
Even if they're down.
Yeah.
And you don't remember, like, I'm sure there were times on Sunday where Tiger did not win at all.
Not if he got a hold of the lead. Like that was the other thing. It finally happened towards the end of his career where I think it was the guy from the Chinese golfer. It'll come back to me. He had a big red rooster on his shirt. And he beat him at the PGA. It's the first time ever Tiger had surrendered a lead on a Sunday in a major championship. It's going to bother me. I can't remember this guy's name. And it was like, wait, what just happened? And it's not like Phil Mickelson or Ernie Els did it to him. It was this guy that you never ever heard from ever again. And it finally happened. But it was he's one of a kind. There'll never be another one because golf doesn't make guys like that. But I'm glad I got to see it with my own two eyes. A little super crosstalk, and I'm going to look that guy up. It's coming up next. It's Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason in Ireland is...
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where vapes are anti-aging. Because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke.
Yeah, there's one person there.
The OGs of LA Sports Talk.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
Go! Oh, well. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a portable 9-band radio with flashlight when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 23rd.
Number 2.
Drew Baldridge, July 24th.
And the number 1 reason.
We're lighting up the sky at the Summer Bash. Celebrate the start of summer with a dazzling fireworks display. The 27th at 9 p.m.
Morongo, good times.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time.
Take me up and never put me down.
Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey, baseball fans, ready to swing for the fences? It's ESPN LA's Legends Launch, presented by our friends at Legends Attic. Part of All-Star Friday night, step up to the plate and take your shot at launching as many baseballs as you can into the home run zone. Spots are limited, so grab your bat and go to ESPNLA.com right now to sign up.
Bring the heat and showcase your legendary swing at our All-Star Friday night event on July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex. Reserve your spot now thanks to Legends Attic, the ultimate sports fan's dream destination.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Y.E. Yang was the name I could not pull. That's the name I got.
Is he the guy that took down Tiger?
That's him. That's the guy. I couldn't remember the name,
Y.E.
John.
Yang.
I couldn't remember the name, and I was wrong. He's not Chinese. He was Korean, South Korean. So
Yeah, well, now what's happening is golf has become so popular in Korea that most colleges, my niece is a good golfer. Trav, she's a 3 handicap. And I thought she was going to play in college. But what all these college coaches have told her is golf has become so popular in Korea that now all the U.S. universities go recruit over there.
Okay.
And each team, many of these teams has 2 or 3, particularly on the female side, has 2 or 3 women on, like USC, UCLA, UCI, all of them. And they're all like +1, +2. They're all like going on the tour.
When you play with your niece,
all of them.
Does she give you a shot? When you play with your niece, does she give you shots?
No, we played straight up, but last time I took her down. Last time we played, she beat me it's like me and you, Trev. She beat me like every time before that.
You finally broke through.
Fine. Yeah. Well, with you, I think I've only tied you, but with her, I finally got her.
There you go. So tell me what you guys are looking at. How's it look out there?
Well, we're at Richard Krasnick's house here in Thousand Oaks. Everybody knows Richard Krasnick's house, right? He actually made a big donation to Children's Hospital Los Angeles. That's what got us out here.
Yeah, this was we'll host a show from your house.
Excellent.
If you make a donation to Children's Hospital. They could have picked any show. Richard picked us, and this place is like a resort.
It is so tricked out.
There's a lifeguard station here. There's a pool. There's a jacuzzi.
There's a putting green. There's all. I mean,
Trav, this is your kind of setup here.
I was going to say that sounds. Look, if there's a lifeguard tower at your personal pool, we're talking about an estate.
I mean, this really sounds like it's just one big flex for Richard Krasnick.
Well, Richard's company, Andy, you would like. You know when you were a kid and you played flick-it football? You folded something up into corners?
Oh, yeah.
He has a company called Fiki Sports, F-I-K-I Sports, and they have a bunch of those footballs. And in honor of this, he has a Sedano and Cap football and a Mason and Iron football. Did they do one for Travis? Oh,
yeah,
there's a Travis and DeMarco one.
Don't feel left out. There's a Travis and DeMarco football.
Yeah, so we'll bring Trav. We'll bring you back your own Fiki football.
There's a Dodger blue. There's a Blue Review little football.
Blue Review. Where's the Lakers talk football?
Ooh.
Oh, well, we'll work it. Well, Richard used
Krasnick,
to work.
Get on this.
He used to work for the Lakers in the 80s. We were just telling stories. He ran promotions for the Lakers. He worked for our friend Lon Rosen for a lot of years.
Oh, wow, that is going back.
And most of all, we thank him for making a very generous donation to Children's Hospital. We're starting to pay all these things off. We're doing this today. I got my golf match with Worthy and a guy and his father coming up at the end of the month.
Travis, you and I are taking somebody to a ball game at some point here.
Yep.
I'm taking people to Cosm. I mean, all this stuff for Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
DeMarco and I have a round of golf as well that we're going to play at Pachanga the day after our softball game. So, yeah, it's all coming together.
It's all happening, people.
All happening.
Let me just put this out there real quick.
Trav,
yeah.
Since you played baseball, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
So, beginning of the Dodger game last night, was it Trevino who hit who did he hit
Lou
from the
Trevino
Padres?
hit Fernando Tatis.
Hit him in the back.
Yeah.
All right. So, the Padres felt like they had to throw at Shohei, and they did, and they hit him in a leg. Trav, at that point, is it over? Because if I'm the Dodgers, I can't have anybody throwing at Shohei. If I was Trevino, I would have, when the next batter come up, put it right in his back and walked off the mound. Not said anything. But Trev, how do you know when one of those things is, if each team has a player hit, is it then even and it's over?
So it's a good question. We spent a good deal of our show talking about this today. And I think this is why these things tend to go on forever and ever and ever. Everybody feels like they need to get their final shot in. But
Shohei, to me, is a different animal.
I agree
He's
with you.
a $700 million asset that you cannot allow other teams to do that to.
I couldn't
You can
agree
hit anybody
more.
else.
I
You
couldn't
can hit
agree
anybody
more.
else.
And
you
that's
hit
why
him, you're getting one in the rib.
That's why you think they're not done, Trev.
That's why I think Manny Machado should be on high alert today.
I sent a text to our group chat last night.
Yeah.
Next time Machado's up, I'm going right at him, and I'm not even.
By the way, that's so surprising. That is so not your position normally. You're
because I think it's dangerous.
It is dangerous, and
but you say go right after.
But you cannot. This is the equivalent of when Wayne Gretzky played for the Kings. That's why Marty McSorley and Mike Krushelinski were on the Kings. That if anybody even attempted to check Gretzky, even a legal check. McSorley or Semenko when he was in Edmonton or Krushelinski who came in the trade would beat the crap out of anybody who even touched Gretzky. I think in this scenario, Trav, Ohtani is Gretzky.
I do too.
You cannot allow him to be a human target.
No, and they won't.
And that's why Dave Roberts was so mad, by the way.
Whether they square the account today or tomorrow or down the line, time will tell. Because some of the game situation is going to dictate some of this, but I agree with you. When you hit Ohtani, the rules of engagement change dramatically. But I tend to, what Mace, you mentioned a second ago, the problem with this isn't just that you go, I go, you go, I go, and it never really stops, is what if Ohtani, I forget the name of the pitcher that hit him, but and if you're going to hit a guy, and even Dave Roberts said this, that's the correct way to do it. It's below the waist. It's the fleshy part of the leg. Like, this is how you do it. But sometimes even major league pitchers miss. You hit a guy in a hand, you break his wrist. What if Mookie Betts is retaliation
clearly
for
Randy
Machado?
Vasquez missed him the first pitch.
Right.
I mean, he was trying to get him on the first
right,
pitch.
and that's where it gets super dangerous.
Hanley
is because
Ramirez.
if one of these Hanley Ramirez broke his rib,
broke his rib.
If Manny Machado is the guy that wears one today, and let's say he breaks a rib, well, the Padres aren't going to sit around and let that happen. They're going to go at Mookie. They're going to go at
so
Freddie.
That's why it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it never ends. But going back to this, every once in a while you get a generational player. I would equate this to if somebody hit Patrick Mahomes late, and I'm a lineman on the Chiefs. I don't care about getting ejected. I rip that guy's helmet off and take him to the ground. And just make a huge scene out of it and make it so uncomfortable for anyone ever to hit Mahomes late that they know I'm coming at you no matter what. And I think Shohei is Patrick Mahomes in this scenario.
Let me ask you something, Trev. Lou Trevino hit Fernando Tatis last series in San Diego. Do you think that played a factor last night?
I don't think that played a factor. I think what played a factor, Mace, is what they said about Andy Pages.
Yeah.
Pages
Who's that? Why do we care about
that
him?
Stuff.
They got better
right.
hitters
So
to
when
hit.
they hit Pages on Monday night, when Cease hit him, that clearly was an accident. He did not hit him on purpose. And Pages...
I disagree.
No, Pages...
You disagree? You think it was
I absolutely think he hit Pages on purpose. I
no.
absolutely believe it. Because
even the Dodgers said they don't think he hit him on purpose. Even Pages has since circled back and said, I got that one wrong.
I overreacted.
But their response to it, the Padres' response to it of where Machado goes, dude, they got stars on their team. Why would I hit you? Schilt yelled at him in the moment, which was basically, dude, who do you think you are? We're not coming at you. The Dodgers hit Tatis in response to their response, not the hit batter. That's what started it.
But I guess my question is it over? And you think no?
I don't. I don't think it's over because it's Shohei.
Neither do I.
If it was Shohei, Freddie, or Mookie, we have to keep going. If they hit Max Muncy or Will Smith,
I don't think it's necessarily tonight, but these things get put in the bank.
Well, don't they have a series
and
in San Diego next week?
Later. Do they? Wait, they've just played San Diego twice. Do they have another series?
Oh no,
with
did
San
they already?
Diego?
Oh, that's right.
No,
They put him last week. So this is the second series.
They play them again, but I don't think it's for. I think it's in August.
Yeah, I think the check is going to be cashed then.
Yeah, well, the problem is...
Although tonight, I'm going to watch when Manny Machado's at the plate.
Is there one more game or two more in this series?
Two. There's two more in this series.
Who's pitching tonight for the Dodgers?
So Emmett Sheehan makes his return.
And so you can't burn him. So one of the relievers has to take the hit for this.
They do not play the Dodgers again. It will be in L.A. the next time they play, and it's in the middle of August. So they don't play each other for another couple of months. So,
and by the way, this is why Dave Roberts, this is the first time Dave's been thrown out this year. This is why he went ballistic. Why are you warning our guys?
Yeah.
You know, what we haven't had a chance. He just hit my best player. I have to I get the right to respond.
So that part of it is totally messed up because Dave Roberts gets ejected moments after he comes out of the dugout. Just animated.
I don't even think moments were involved. Greg, didn't he take 2 steps onto the field and they threw him out?
Waving his,
That's why they threw him out. They threw him out because he came out of the dugout, not because he was arguing the warning. He was going to argue the warning, but they basically said, we don't argue about this. This is not something that gets discussed. Do not come out of the dugout. He came out of the dugout, and that's when they ran.
And yet, Mike Schultz immediately walked out on the field and had a discussion. And afterwards,
So how is that equitable?
Read the pool report from the chief of the umpires there, the head chief crew head, and he said that it's Dave arguing with the warning and Mike Schultz discussing the warning. Now, that is a very, very fine line.
The umpires had a bad night last night for reasons that still escape me. The home plate umpire called time with a ball in play when Tatis walked off the field.
Yep.
So it was not their best night.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Have a great time. Enjoy the lifeguard tower.
Yes.
Enjoy the flick it, kick it football, and we will catch you guys. And don't forget to bring the Trav and DeMarco ball back. You got me?
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll
Laura, you got it. You got the Trav and DeMarco one.
I got you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.